Straight out of medic school. That's funny.
Nice. Dude, there were so many memes like that were
Meaning, my internship completed yesterday.
yay!
So when you
Congratulations.
All I have left is pass the written test, and I can finally call myself a paramedic.
Oh my god!
Man, that's awesome.
But I officially completed the Napa Valley EMS program. That is truly complete.
And they
But
said
that was just an hours that you had to do. Like there was no like physical exam for
By
that. It was
completing the program, it then tells you're able to by
Perform.
completing the program, it tells the United States that he can take this test. If he passes, we recognize that he can now work as a paramedic in the United States of America.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
USA.
The right to
USA.
save lives.
Everyone's got to get their hands in the damn cookie jar on this one, I'm telling you. I wish it was just, hey, you graduated our program. Congratulations, you're a paramedic. Go do things. But no, the government's like, give me.
Speaking of, welcome back to GoodFlickas, home of the GoodFlickas. Can you take our critique? I think speaking about the government getting in our business is a fantastic way to bring in our movie for the week, Straight Outta Compton, streaming on Hulu at the moment. So Straight Outta Compton and straight into your homes. The ad writes itself. It's the low-hanging fruit. I'm not happy with myself. I am, of course, Matt, joined tonight with straight out of med school man himself, B to the Riz to the Is, Rye.
I'm cruising down the street in my 6'4".
Easy now.
Dude, you're dropping some hot bars right now, man.
Oh, dude. Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to this. But joining us also is Jen with her ever the sweet little kiwi. Oh, snoozing. Sorry to wake. My bad.
Kiwi straight on the couch and
I know. Like I wrecked like an awesome nap. I'm so sorry, bud. But hey, mom's giving you rubbies. Yeah.
Cruising on the couch with my kiwi.
Yeah. Also with us tonight, the bearded man himself, Nick Klaus. I will not claim to give you any sort of rap name, as you've been rapping for us for a while now. So you are either the bearded badass, the bearded bastard, the bearded man, but you know.
I'm trying to figure if I like bearded bastard is a very it's like edgy, like don't fuck with me. But badass is even like more edgy and more badass, like don't fuck
You
with
can
me.
use the dollar signs, man. Like
Yeah, like the Kesha, like the dollar sign, like with the in the name. Yeah.
dollar bills,
Yo,
y'all.
what up? I'm the bearded badass dollar sign. Don't fuck with me.
Bad dollar sign. and that is how you fight off the censors and all of the pissed off moms.
Yeah, that's phonetically how you say my name.
Phonetically. Nice. But yes, we are talking about Straight Outta Compton. Jen, this was your pick, right?
Yeah.
So Jen, tell us why you picked Straight Outta Compton. Break our hearts with it was the first thing I saw when I turned on Hulu.
No, why wouldn't I pick Straight Outta Compton? It kind of, not the first thing I saw on Hulu, but I was like, I haven't dug around Hulu for a minute. So I went on there and I saw that and I was like, done looking. I love this movie. It's not the first time I've seen it, which you'll be surprised when I tell you guys more. Because you're like, how many times have you seen this? I just forget, everybody. My brain doesn't remember too clearly. But I knew that the GoodFlickas had to see this, and Matt, I cannot believe you haven't seen it. And this is the first go around, so incredible. I'm so excited to talk about it here. Everyone's thoughts.
Sweet. On that note, any volunteers?
I'm really excited, so don't let me down.
B to the Riz to the is. What up, bud?
Better be in the house.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Straight Outta Compton. Definitely not a stranger to this one. I watched it in theaters when it came out. I was so stoked for it. This is nostalgia at its finest for me. I was just old enough to kind of know what was going on around this time, and not fully into the music, but later on I would be into the music. So it's just in that perfect moment of where I could actually start to truly remember being alive. And man, what a time, just what a time in America on this one. And this movie, holy crap, is it good? It is, the performances are unreal, unfucking real on some of the performances that we'll talk about. The storytelling is just phenomenal. It's like, yeah, it's like a biopic, but it truly feels more of a movie than a biopic. And I feel that they just really hit they found the missing or the right recipe on this one. The soundtrack is, I mean, it's NWA. It's not going to be a bad soundtrack. It's got the birth of so many legends that you're just like, oh my God, the what you did with your life and just all of it. And it's just like how everyone was in the beginning. And it's so well told. Um I gotta say, I feel like the first half or the first two-thirds of the movie hit really hard, and then it kind of tapers off. It still doesn't lose, I don't lose interest, but I'm not fully into it the way I am in the start. The start of this movie, it's just like it's banging. And then there's this, it gets to that one moment and then it kind of tapers. But again, it doesn't ruin the movie by any means. And I think we're gonna have a lot of fun talking about this one. There's a lot of real life history to pull from, all that stuff. So this one it's always been a favorite of mine. This is a 4.7 out of 5 stars.
I'll go.
All right, yeah, go ahead, Nick.
Yes, this is I know it's at least my second watch, maybe my third, but definitely my second. I really enjoy this movie. I got a lot more details out of it this watch than the first time. And just like small things I never really picked up. Just a lot of like details that were kind of like thrown in that were really tasteful and like really add to like the flavor of the movie itself. So I really enjoyed it the second time, if not more than the first time. The storytelling, like Brian said, it's really incredible how they tell the story, and just like the way that they flash to the future and like how they fill in the time in between. It just, the way that they wrote this script is really well done. I do think some of the acting in the beginning is a little rough, but it definitely gets a lot better. Like in the second two-thirds, I guess. But the drama is there. The acting is, when the acting is really good, it's really good, and the characters do a phenomenal job. They all look the part, which is really awesome. And yeah, it's just like, you know, seeing the start of like modern, not modern, but like the start of like a certain type of genre and where it came from. It's also informative. Like you just really learn a lot too. Yeah, so really well done movie. I gave it a 4.5.
Nice. Excuse me, I burped right before that, so feel disgusting right now. Yes, so this was my first time seeing this movie, and wanting to see this movie ever since it first was, trailer was released. I was so pumped for this movie when I saw that it was being made. It was just, I was so excited. And I'm not a huge rap fan. I mean, I didn't really find rap music until like late in middle school into high school. And at that point, like I'm way past so much of like this gangster rap that NWA was. Like I missed all of NWA. I didn't find that until so much later in life. But I knew Dr. Dre. I knew Snoop Dogg. Like I knew Ice. I knew of these guys, but I didn't really know much of their backstory, any of their history. So that's kind of why I was always so excited for this movie. Um, and I really enjoyed it. I I was this movie had my anxiety going the entire time. Where I mean, from the start of this movie, it sets up this is Compton. And from there on out, I never fully felt settled for these guys. I mean, at no point was like, yeah, you guys are in a good place. Never. I never felt comfortable for them. And I think that the movie did a good job of that because I mean, look at what it was. Like it really was that tense for them all of the time. They were always on edge. You let your guard down for too long, it bites you. So I really appreciated a lot of that. Um, Having read some of the trivia and stuff, I think a bit of where like my nitpicks and complaints and stuff come from. It's a little bit of the story, and it's somewhat a flaw of what I think a lot of biopics do, especially when it's like, oh, we're doing a biopic of a group. It's never of the group. It's always of one person or a few people, but it's never of the group. And when you advertise something as such, that always bothers me because inevitably it means you let out a huge chunk of this story that, you couldn't fit. I'll say that you couldn't fit it. And I don't want to get into fun facts or anything yet, but like I said, based off of the stuff that I'd read, like I think that's where this comes in is some of the writing was it caused the story arcs to kind of jump around a bit. And that's what led to us kind of now following three timelines, three story arcs, which is not uncommon for biopics, but it's not necessarily what I wanted. And it's not necessarily what I was sold. But that being said, I'm really looking forward to chatting about this, really looking forward to diving deep on this one. I really enjoyed this on a first watch. I'm so glad that I own it and can watch it whenever the hell I want. And I'm really hoping I really hope that I have the director's cut because I think it's like 3 hours something. If it's not available, like I want that. Like I want the longest version of this movie possible because I really I want to know more. If this thing has done anything, it has really made me want to dive deep into rap history and learn more about it. Last thing I'll say before dropping my score is big nitpick I have story wise that they touch on and then kind of ignore are the LA riots. That's a big thing that they were leading up to in the first half that they just kind of like, and they happen and we're moving on. And here's, like it just, there should have been more focus on that. There should have been more attention to it. And that's mostly from me coming from a person who's trying to learn more about the LA riots from these kind of perspectives rather than just what the news has said. So like I wanted more. I want a lot more about these guys. So if anybody knows about a documentary about NWA, let me know. I want to learn up on these guys. Yeah. I'm gonna cut myself off there. I gave this Nick, guess what I gave this?
A 4.5.
I gave this a 4.5. I really do like this. And the things that I consider flaws about this, it doesn't take away from this movie. It's absolutely incredible. I'm the acting, the rapping, just all of it, so good. All right, Jen, wrap us up. Say it. Tell us what you think.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Oh, I'm glad you guys all liked it. Yeah, this movie, it wasn't my first watch at all. I had a friend that was like obsessed with this movie, and anytime we'd hang out, we'd just watching it and drinking, which is probably why I don't remember much of it. But it's so good, and it touched on so many like topics, and I, as I'm watching it, it's not something that I can personally like relate to on a full level, like the way that they show it. And so it's always nice to have your eyes open to something that you're kind of blind to, and unaware that it really that happens. Like that's a thing, and that's a life for some people. And then I love artists in any form, really. And so to just see them like where they started and just their story, that it's just like, it's almost like a magical story, really. Like, what are the odds that all these guys know each other, grew up around each other, and then they become these incredible musician, artists, rappers, and just like get out of that toxicity and just rise up. And it's such a beautiful story. And I'm glad that they shared it with the world. What do I give it though? I feel like I've been stuck on like 4.8. So just for that reason, I'm going to 4.9. I've said 4.8, I think like 3 or 4 times in a row.
I mean, stick with your heart, Jen, but fair enough.
4.9. 4.9.
4.9. Okay. Well, this movie is clearly not going to be in top runnings. Such low 4s. Yeah. Nick.
Yeah. I got an improvised rap for y'all.
You're sticking with the improv. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. I'm having fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have figured for, Straight Outta Compton, you might want to have prepared something.
Yeah.
I like the confidence. So
I don't show loyalty to any certain movie.
I just figured for the sake of not looking like a total fool in front of Ice Cube and Dr. Dre, but that's just me.
Yeah, if they're watching right now, I definitely would have written something.
Hit us up. Can I be in your next movie, please?
Yeah. If my freestyle is so good, can I be in a song? All right. We've got a film called Straight Outta Compton. Brian's got facts and he's got a lot of them. Matt's looking dumb with the way he's walking. And his clothes so ugly, the fashion police knocking at his front door because he doesn't. Fun facts.
That was a good attempt. I can't give you applause on that one.
I was like, what has he done? Like, what does he not do? And I just couldn't think of anything.
I'm a sucker for getting made fun of, but it was a bit lackluster. I feel like your heart wasn't in it.
I think
so. We need to start a rap battle, you and I.
I think B Rabbit's Malibu's Most Wanted did better.
Dude, improvising is hard, man. Like
it is hard.
Yeah, Brian, you try right now. Give me an improvised fun fact rap.
I struggle when I write things down. So
see. I got a couple lines in there.
You did all right. You just you started with confidence and then you fell off. It's all good. I told you should have prepared something. The pressure, man.
Hey, but that's what makes you better, right? And just keep doing it.
Yes. Sometimes you got to fail. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to fail.
Did I try?
Oh yeah.
Go for it.
She's over here practicing. She's like,
yeah. She's got like 7 lines.
I'm gonna improv this now that I've been thinking for the last 3 minutes.
No, I only got 2 lines. Okay, here we go. Here we go. What you want to know? Straight out of Compton. Fun facts.
Oh my god.
I love this, guys.
Thank you for
Those
making
of-
mine look better.
for any of those that are just listening to us and have no clue what we look like, we are in fact Caucasian.
We are the whitest people ever.
We are white. But that does not mean we can't support and do our best in the efforts of solidarity, brothers. And that was meant to sound more like Hulk Hogan. Solidarity, brothers.
Yeah.
Come on, brother.
USA. USA.
I don't know. Anyway, let's get into the fun facts. Let's learn some stuff, and then set me off on
Let's
it.
get into something organized.
Oh no,
Hey, we're having fun, damn
This
it.
is absolute chaos tonight, and that's
Here we go. Here we go.
Okay, so straight out of Compton, I believe Matt said it already, streaming on Hulu. So if you're wanting to check it out, it's what is it? It's January 29th, 2024 when we're recording this. So you know, maybe it's on Hulu, maybe it's not. I don't know. Check it out.
Check your local library.
501.
Came out in 2015. Directed by F. Gary Gray.
Yeah.
Mr. Gray's will go top 8. Straight out of Compton. The Fate of the Furious. So that would be F8 in the Fast and the Furious franchise.
Are you going from 8 down to 1?
No, I don't know if this is any particular order. This is
Oh,
just going off of Letterboxd.
Gotcha.
MIB International. I didn't know this, but he's the director of Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So kind of full circle here on this one. He's also the director of The Italian Job.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was the one where I was like, I know this for something like
Interesting.
some
Okay.
weird, some crazy connection. That was it.
He directed Law Abiding Citizen. That was a pretty decent one if you haven't seen it. That stars Gerald Butler and Jamie Foxx. And then the last two is Lift and The Negotiator.
Oh, Lift, the one that just came out with
Oh wow, that is brand new. Yeah,
it just came
2024.
out with Kevin Hart. I mean, like that, like weeks, isn't it?
Yeah. So this is hot off the press.
Yeah. Good for him. Yeah, January 12th. Like, yeah, like literally days. I mean, days ago. Shit.
17 days ago.
Shit. Okay.
And then the 1998 The Negotiator. So that's kind of some of the things he's got. I've definitely seen a ton of his movies, and I like a lot of them. I'll tell you that. So
Yeah.
you know, this director knows what he's doing. That's for sure.
I
And
like
obviously,
this
it's
stuff.
still cranking them out. So you know, I guess with that said, I might as well just use this right now, Mr. Gray. Where is the sequel? Like, come on. There 50 Cent, Eminem, there's some things that Dre did in Aftermath, and it's sitting right there. We have Straight Outta Compton, and the sequel is straight into Aftermath.
Oh.
I think
Just make
gotta
it
call
happen,
I
man.
think you just got to call it Aftermath.
No, you gotta do straight into Aftermath. That's too good.
No, just Aftermath.
No,
Yeah, I think it makes it too cheesy of a title.
I hate all you.
I think it makes I think it's a good title, but I think it makes it too cheesy of a title.
Fine.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm just rooting for the sequel because I want to see the Dr. Dre Eminem story more than anything else in the world. Because when those two paired together, I mean they broke the game of rap, plain and simple. And I just give us a sequel. That's all I gotta say. Give us a sequel.
Please.
Well, and then like they would have to include G Unit, which was 50 Cent, and The Game.
Fine by me.
There was like a couple others. Like that was another group that was out at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the cast. The actor who plays Ice Cube, O'Shea Jackson Jr., aka Ice Cube's real son.
Yep.
Is it really?
Yeah. Yeah, it was him. Yeah.
That's why he looks so much like him.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre is Corey Hawkins.
I liked him.
Eazy-E, played by Jason Mitchell. Neil Brown Jr. played DJ Yella. Aldous Hodge is MC Ren. Marlon Yates Jr. is the DOC. R. Marcos Taylor plays Suge Knight. And the last one I'm going to mention, Paul Giamatti.
Who?
Plays Paul Giamatti, who plays Jerry.
Jerry.
Why are you laughing?
Yeah. Because the one name that is not like a breakout role for something.
Yeah.
You repeat back like Paul Giamatti, like so genuine of like, I'm clearly messing with you.
Oh. Well,
I appreciate you, man.
Apparently we took our dick pills today. I see. Anyway, I mean, talking about the highlights or the spotlight, wow, I don't even know where to begin on this. O'Shea's performance of Ice Cube is just unreal. Unreal what he did with that one. Jason Mitchell's Eazy-E is phenomenal, and I think Corey Hawkins played an incredible Dr. Dre as well. And honestly, I'd like to bring up Marcos Taylor's performance of Suge Knight, because wow, he made Suge Knight as scary of a dude as Suge Knight is. I mean, I'm sure we're going to talk about the performances throughout as we talk, but does anyone have anything that they'd like to mention right off the get-go?
I mean, just O'Shea's performance was incredible. Incredible. I don't know if he had the upper hand because it's his dad, but wow. I had to question so many times. I was like, is that him? Like, did they make him look younger? Like, because he nailed it.
Who played I know he wasn't in it very long, but who played Tupac?
Give me one sec.
Because Jen, like, that was another one I was like, man, that looks
just
exactly like
yeah.
him.
Yeah.
That's
And I think
because they got Tupac.
What?
They got Tupac.
Oh, he's alive, right? Remember?
That, and then I think the guy that played Snoop Dogg too, he did a really good job.
Yeah.
I can't find I'm looking frantically, but I cannot find the actor of Tupac.
Because it was Tupac.
Because it was him. It was just Tupac Shakur. So
one, I thought they did a great job with, like you guys are saying, of getting actors that look like them. Obviously O'Shea Jackson Jr. looks so much like his dad. And Brian, did you have any fun facts to go in on O'Shea Jackson Jr.?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, then I'm going to stay silent. But is it Corey Hawkins was Dr. Dre?
Yes, Corey Hawkins, correct.
There were so many times, especially like later on in the movie when he had on the hat, where I'm like, it like straight up like looked like just young Dr. Dre. And like I said, so many moments. But with the Eazy-E, that's a guy that I didn't know much about. I've heard the name and knew that he died young, but like didn't know much about him. So I don't know how much he looked like that guy. But
Eazy-E?
Yeah.
He looked pretty damn close
like they
to
got
Eazy-E.
a pretty spot on, especially with like the iconic image when they're in the all black uniform. Like performance one. Like,
Yeah.
You show actual footage at the end.
Yeah,
Tupac
so
is played
yeah.
by Mark Rose.
Mark Rose.
Oh, okay.
MARCC Rose.
See, that's an anagram that you swaps the letters around and it spells Tupac Shakur.
All right.
Which I
Let's go
want
to
to
the
confirm
ratings.
because we brought up the guy who plays Snoop. I wrote his name.
Let's not.
I confirm. Because I think it's Lakeith Stonefield played Snoop Dogg. I'm just trying to find him in the credits. See, this was the problem with it being my first watching this one.
Stanfield.
Lakeith Stanfield played. Okay. Like this was my first time seeing this, so and not knowing the story, like, so I don't know who the really important characters are. So as I'm scrolling through the cast, I'm like, oh, somebody plays Snoop Dogg? Hell yeah, let's write that guy's name down. But I don't think I scrolled far enough to realize that Tupac was going to show up. So that was a nice surprise. But there's so much more that I wanted from this story. They're like deleted scenes, like details and stuff. Like East Coast, West Coast. That's what this led up to. I need to watch what's the Biggie movie called?
Notorious.
Yeah.
Like that feels like it feels like you should watch Straight Outta Compton, followed by Notorious. And then we need whatever the Eminem 50 Cent thing.
8 Mile.
Oh, well, I guess
but 8 Mile has no, it's
I was about to say
not really a bio. I mean,
but that's just for him. Does it go into, does it talk about Dr. Dre at all?
No, it's been a really long time since I've seen it, but I don't remember it. No, I remember it like being the start of Eminem.
Yeah, so that doesn't count.
Yeah.
But okay, so we're building a series. That's cool.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there.
A series.
Build some hip hop, yo.
All right. So the ratings, we're giving this one 4.65.
Okay,
out of 5 stars. It is our #1 movie of the year.
Ooh.
Our number 1.
Taking January.
Last year and you.
We're on a roll, man.
I'm on a roll.
These are high scores. That's what I think.
Really high score.
No, right now.
High score 4 for sure.
Hell yeah. What are the scores for January?
What
are the scores for January?
Mario Brothers 4.4, Con Air 4.26, Blues Brothers 4.23, Straight Outta Compton 4.65.
Okay.
Oh, smoked ya.
Yeah, pretty handed. On January. Okay.
Coming in hot, guys.
That's all right. You know,
really trying to get some followers.
You know the saying, even a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then.
True story. All right. Letterboxd 3.8 out of 5 star. IMDb 7.8 out of 10 stars. Roger Ebert, there was no rating on the Ebert website.
Good.
Wow.
Good, Raj. You keep your mouth shut. You have no
he definitely had his mouth shut at 2015, Matt. Have some respect.
Keep it shut.
That
wasn't the year he died, is it?
I think 2013, if I remember.
Like, that's not the year he died.
Yeah. Well, we just lost everybody. Matt, you can't cancel us. Budget was 28 million. Worldwide gross 201.6 million.
Oh, it's pretty decent.
Okay.
Did all right.
Straight out of my wallet.
It's straight into their wallets.
Oh, God, I hope you bring it up because I know Nick's already mentioned it and we've been doing it all night. We're going to continue to do it.
What?
The meme.
Straight out of meme.
Oh, yeah. All right, Oscars, there was 1 nominee and 0 wins. Nominated for Best Writing Original Screenplay.
What did it lose to?
Good question.
It's funny, like that's the category that Matt's like having the biggest nitpick over is the writing and the screenplay.
Oh, it lost to Spotlight. That's a damn good movie.
I haven't seen that one, but I know that one.
It's a heavy movie, but it's a good one.
Never even heard of it.
So then, we'll get into the writing. I have my reasons, but it's not that I think it's bad writing.
And then obviously this movie did really well with like BET awards, the what else? Oh, MTV Movie Awards and TV Awards. They got a couple nominees, one winner, People's Choice Awards, Teen Choice Awards. So I mean, yeah, it's definitely has a ton of awards. Obviously, very popular in the African American community of awards too. Yeah. So that's it for that. What else? Okay, going into some stuff here. The actors re-recorded NWA's Straight Outta Compton album. They did this to really try to feel that they were Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, Eazy-E. They really wanted to get into character. The FBI letter can be seen in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
That's
that was real. That's crazy to me. God.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
They just kept it going, huh? This is what we think of your letter. It's
like public embarrassment at its finest. It's like, hey, FBI, remember you did this? Well, now everyone can take a look.
That's so crazy.
Sorry,
there's definitely. Oh, sorry.
No, sorry. I Keith Stanfield. Sorry, I was reading out too many things. Sorry. Reason to shout him out real fast was he was our guy in the new Haunted Mansion movie. He's the lead. He's the lead in the new Haunted Mansion movie.
Who is?
The guy who played Snoop Dogg.
Oh, really?
Yes.
He did not recognize him at all.
And there's the Book of Clarence, which I think just came out. Sorry, I'm trying to find some other quick little things that he's done. Knives Out, he's Lieutenant Elliot. So he's popped up in quite a few things since Straight Outta Compton.
Okay, good for him.
Small role as Snoop Dogg is blowing up into some pretty good stuff.
Well, he did a great Snoop Dogg. Really, really good impersonation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, who's in Get Out?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I hated the new Haunted Mansion, so maybe that's why I don't remember.
Wow, dude. Wow.
I didn't like it.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Is it because of the kid's outfit? Yeah, it's weird that
no, it's because it was so dark and I couldn't see anything.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That was the movie that sparked our lighting of black actors versus
Nick says he hated it. Just checked. He gave it 4 out of 5 star.
No. I'm saying the new one.
We watched the old one.
We watched the old one. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. I like the old one. The old one's fun.
Apologies.
It's all good.
You fool.
I watched the new one like the day after we did our talk of the old one.
Got it.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. It wasn't as good as the original, but I thought it was good.
Yeah.
All right. There were definitely some cut scenes. I know, Matt, you already talked about the director's cut. There's a ton of scenes in the director's cut that you don't see. Eazy-E gets married. Dr. Dre rolls with Snoop Dogg in a car, and they toke it up. So there's definitely some hidden things, but some cut scenes on this one is Dr. Dre's beating of journalist D. Barnes.
Yeah, that's something I really wanted to see because I'm like, what? What is that?
Also, Dr. Dre is shot in the leg 4 times, and there's a flashback of his little brother's death. So there's definitely, I feel like the director's cut has a little bit more juice to it. Obviously, Hulu did not have the director's cut playing. Eazy-E and MC Ren were the only members of NWA who once belonged to street gangs.
So it was Easy and who?
MC Ren.
MC Ren.
This was O'Shea Jackson's film debut.
Wow.
Coming in blazing. He took 2 years to prepare for his role.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
His father said, if you're going to do this, you're doing it right. His thing was he doesn't want there to be any nepotism.
What is that?
And,
him just hiring him because he's his son.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And so he's like, if you're taking on the role of Ice Cube, young me, you're going to make sure that they believe you and that it's not just Ice Cube's son got this because he's Ice Cube's son.
Right.
I'd say challenge accepted.
Ice Cube and Dr. Dre were producers on this as well. So like
Yes,
that's where that nepotism comes in.
They were basically behind the camera the entire time.
Yeah. What a trip. I thought of that too. It's like they have to relive some like Dr. Dre to see.
Ryan,
I have it. I'm sorry, Nick. I'll just say it now.
Fine.
Dr. Dre, the first scene that they did for this movie was when Dr. Dre finds out that his brother has been murdered. That's the very first scene that they filmed. Dre watches it one time. They do it again. Second time he walks off set, it's too much for him.
I bet.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would nope. And same even with Eazy-E. Like, I mean, it's just like you're having to live it all over again. That's it. It's the sacrifice that those guys made just for us to watch this movie is speechless.
Yeah.
I don't know what Ice Cube has looked like in the last 9 years or 10 years or whatever. But I wonder if they had talked about if Ice Cube essentially plays himself, but then like they make him look young, you know?
Like
I wonder if no, like not even with like prosthetics and like
no way,
like working out or no. I don't know what he looks like nowadays, so I can't really.
Dude, he's like what, 50?
Yeah, I can look up real quick.
I mean, not to say like he's not in good shape because like he's still pretty solid. What he just did that movie not too long ago where he beats the shit out of Charlie Day.
He's 54 years old. He's got gray hair in his beard and his hair.
Yeah,
there's no way.
Okay, I didn't realize. Damn, he's 54.
He's 54.
Which was something I was trying to figure out too, because when they said Easy died at 31, I was like, I'm trying to figure out these years because it's the 90s and he dies at 31. Because what they imply that they're 17 and 89.
I think so, yeah.
So
one of my nitpicks of this movie is the timeline is a little rough to follow.
Yep.
Where did I leave off? Okay. No, I lost where I left off again.
Cutscenes. Wait, I didn't find it.
Film day, blah, blah, blah. Okay. NWA never called their music gangsta rap. They refer to it as reality rap. It was the media that coined gangster rap and made it widestream and hot button or buzz buttons or whatever you want to call it and popular and all that stuff. But they're just like, no, this isn't gangster rap. This is us telling the story the way it is. And yeah, once again, media fucking shit up.
It's the 90s, man.
Eazy-E's son auditioned to play his father, but did not make the cut for the role, obviously.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. This is how real they were. They're like, not bad, but I forgot his name already.
Just Jason Mitchell?
Yes, not bad, but Jason Mitchell is better. And they went with Jason Mitchell.
However,
what a slap in the face, though.
He was hired to be like kind of how
like a consultant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like kind of how Ice Cube was like training his son how to be him. Vice versa. He gave tips and it was like knowledge of what Eazy was like.
Yeah. This movie inspired Dr. Dre to make Compton a soundtrack, breaking a 16-year silence. And he did it basically behind closed doors. Not a lot of people knew it. And then he launches it. He even there was a tweet that he said saying that this is my grand finale or something along those lines. Which it really wasn't his grand finale, because if anyone remembers 2 Super Bowls ago, he starred in the halftime show and blazed the stage with Eminem, 50 Cent, Dr. Dre. Man, that was such a good halftime show. If you haven't seen it, go check that one out.
I love the 50 Cent memes when they put him next to Spider-Man because he was like upside down.
Yeah.
It's my favorite part.
This is a did you notice? It's kind of an obvious one, but some people may not have clicked. Actually, some people definitely. If you're younger and you weren't born when we were born, you may not notice this. But the Straight Outta Compton album looks very similar to a parental advisory warning symbol.
Oh yeah.
Now again, people our age probably going to catch that real quick. We had CDs and the explicit content was on the bottom right, and those are the CDs that you always wanted, especially if it was MWA, Eminem, any of the rappers, because that's going to give you the juiciest of juice of their songs, instead of hearing songs like da 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 beep da da, because that song was great too. But yeah, so it was quite obvious, but I honestly feel that you don't see the parental advisory warning sign anymore at all, because it's all streamed. It's Pandora, it's Spotify, it's all of this stuff. So everyone's gonna be like, oh cool, black and white. It's like, no man, that was the promised land that you just had to get to. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff there.
I remember grabbing those CDs and them not selling me the CD.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because you were too young. Like you had
I was too young.
that Blink-182 album in your hand, and you're like, please just let me have it. And they're like, no, sorry, kid.
I couldn't
say, but what's my age again?
I remember. Yeah, exactly. Nobody likes it when you're 22.
There you go. I fell in love with a girl at the Rockstar.
Okay.
Does anyone want to take a shot at how many times the word fuck was used?
Oh my gosh.
I wasn't even counting.
Does that include like effing,
fucking, fucker, fuck you, fuck the
see, and I saw the number, but I don't remember it exactly.
222 times.
222. Throwing up deuces.
Deuces.
666. No.
I hate you. Go away.
182. No, shit, that's Scarface.
293 times.
That was close.
See, I knew
Dropping
it was
F-bombs,
two
guys.
something. I knew it was two something.
293.
293.
A shame they couldn't hit that even 3.
That's like 2 every minute. Like
The studio arrest scene actually happened real life.
Yeah.
That wasn't Hollywood being Hollywood. I'm sure we'll that later. Actually, I know we will. Ice Cube actually demolished Priority Records office in real life. All right. Bye, Felicia.
Oh my god. Yes, we're getting to this.
It's an actual reference from Ice Cube's Friday.
Yep.
Mhm.
So a lot of people, when this came out, they're like, "Oh, bye, Felicia, bye, Felicia." Like it was a thing. It's like,
It still is a thing.
wait a sec. They're referencing something that Ice Cube made in this movie that already happened. So don't say that Bye Felicia came from this one. Don't you dare take that from my childhood. I don't think so.
My name, by the way, I
You
think.
can't give Ice Cube for giving Ice Cube that. Yeah.
Yeah,
It doesn't make sense.
yeah, when you really start to break things down, it gets a little confusing. I mean, at one point in Straight Outta Compton, O'Shea Jackson, acting as Ice Cube, says, "But I got a baby on the way," which means he's actually talking about himself in this movie.
Wild.
So full circle me that one. Go
I'd
ahead,
have to take like a moment for myself there to like ad lib and just be like, stick with the line, but like go off the rails a little bit and being like, and he's gonna be a handsome motherfucker.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
like, look right at the camera, just wreck a take or two for the fun of it.
He's gonna be just like his dad.
So I did I looked on Reddit because I caught this. I was like, wait a minute. They make a Bye Felicia reference in this movie, which is originally from Friday, but NWA was before Friday. So it's like you were saying, like, how could they know this in the future? And I went on Reddit to see what people were thinking about this. Apparently, it's hearsay. I don't have facts on this, but that hotel scene was apparently shot late at night, and O'Shea just kind of threw that line in there. Like he kind of like ad-libbed it. Like it was never actually in the script. Yeah, so
See,
he just kind of did it for fun.
That's interesting because I've always done this as I thought it was them just doing an homage to it, right? But additionally, I always thought, okay, maybe that scene actually, or that scene in real life actually happened, and it's something that Ice Cube was like, "I'm storing this. It's gonna come out. Something is gonna happen where I can use it." Where I was just like, "Bye, Felicia," and then he starts cranking out Friday, and he's like, "This is why I remembered it," and then just throws it in the script.
Yeah.
And then Straight Outta Compton, they're like, "All right, we're gonna do a little nod to." They did a couple nods to Friday, but and they picked the 2 most iconic lines of the movie. If you didn't notice,
Yeah.
and I thought that they just wanted to bring it back.
Still fun all around.
It
like,
is. It's a blast. Like, especially when you're dealing with like real life stuff that you're just so culturally involved around. Like all of these are things that I was like, this was in my time of just being a kid and not worrying about adult stuff and just having fun and quoting things like "Bye Felicia" or "You got knocked the fuck out" or like all, and then singing all the songs. Like, yeah, it's just like when you're just so heavily evolved around the culture, it's a lot of fun. All right, last one, probably up by far. I'm gonna rank this in the top 10 greatest facts that I've been able to find as we continue to dig in these movies. I had no idea upon watching Straight Outta Compton, Oprah, you might have heard of her, tweets, powerful, powerful, powerful. Have you seen it? If Oprah is tweeting about your movie, I think you did good.
You get an upvote. You get an upvote. You get an upvote.
And you get a tweet. So yeah,
I love that. That's the reference that we make about Oprah these days. Is the you get an X, you get an X, you get a.
Have you seen any of her shows?
No.
What?
No, I never.
That's
really watched.
what she did on her shows the entire time.
Yeah,
But
that's the only thing I know about her.
And all of a sudden you're taking home a boat and you didn't know it.
It was a typical talk show, but also like she just did what Oprah does. And
She Oprah'd.
Yeah.
Like, it's a verb, in case you didn't know.
Yeah.
She owned that shit.
She harpoed that shit.
Wow, Nick. Wow.
Sorry, I had to.
That was so bad it's good.
Thank you. Matt, give me the applause. Give me the applause. Give it to me.
That is all I got for our fun facts. Does anyone have any others that they know about? I didn't really go into any crazy deep dive of like real life stuff. I was trying to really focus on the movie itself, but I mean, obviously we know about the 1993 riots and how that went down. And
I don't know about them.
See, well, that's one thing of
Yeah.
born in 91, so 2 years old. I'm not familiar with the LA riots. And and by the time like I'm old enough to like comprehend the world around me, like it's long since passed, and America has a short memory.
Yeah.
So I never really learned about the LA riots. I'm learning about them more now, and that's why I was surprised.
There's a documentary out. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's on Netflix, or at least it went out a while ago. It really does a good job of diving into the 1993 riot.
But it was one of those things where it was so impactful especially for that area.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
That's why I was surprised with this movie that they didn't focus more in on it and its impact with the group. I mean, there's no way that they led up to it. Like I said, I don't want to go to the scenes, but they led up to it so well. And then the riots happened and they moved right along.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, although it wasn't involved, it was around the time, the riots didn't really have a lot to do with the NWA story.
I mean, it kind of does. It's police brutality, which they are dealing with constantly.
Right.
And there's, they are being told, stop singing this song about fuck the police and how you don't they're actively calling out the police for doing what they did. And the riots aren't necessarily a reflection of the NWA or anything that they've done, but it is a reflection of what they were talking about.
Yeah, that I agree with. But going into the actual details of them and everything, it's more of I don't know. I don't think it really adds a lot to the story.
And when I bring up the Rodney King beatings, beating.
Because I think that itself is more centered towards what NWA was trying to preach and educate people on.
But even that they brushed over is my point.
I agree. They could have gone a little bit heavier into that. And I do know, or actually, if I remember correctly, it was the verdict of the Rodney King trial that was the start of the riots.
Yes.
So
these men caught on film go free. And I think that's what intrigues me the most about this is like just those facts alone infuriate me enough to be like, yeah, I'd be pissed off too. I understand why you would riot when you basically just watched. It's like, is it 3 cops, 4 cops?
4.
4 cops basically get away with murder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be infuriated too.
Yep.
That happened recently. There was like those five black cops in like Georgia or something that like beat a man like outside of his car to death. That happened like a year or 2 ago.
There's been, sadly, there's been a couple of them. George Floyd.
Well,
Yeah.
that too, yeah.
It hasn't stopped.
No, we haven't learned.
Dude, by the way, I know we're talking about the riot stuff, but like that scene though, it just like I was like, man, even like the symbols are the same as today. You know, like a lot of the phrases are the same. I was like, man, some things don't change really, and this was happening 40, 30 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, it's actually, that's one of the things I kind of like about the 80s into the 90s as far as like jargon and slang and all of that. We haven't strayed too far from it. I mean, we're starting to with, Riz and Cheeky or whatever. Like these are things that you guys are just making up words now. Like that's fine, but you're just making up words and giving a meaning. But as far as like slang and all that, for the most part, we've kind of maintained. We English good. English good, and we slang well. I did have to search into my library. I do have it. It is the unrated director's cut. So I'm very excited to watch this. Since I did decide to watch it on Hulu, to make sure that I was watching what everybody else was watching. Yeah. I always fear when I have like the DVD or something that by me watching the physical thing, you guys experience something different because of whatever streaming rights. But let's talk straight out of Compton, and what better place to start than the very beginning? A very good place to start. And holy hell, okay, I'm going to tell you right now, I did not write down a lot of notes. Obviously, this was one time watch and I was in it. It was hard to write notes because I was locked on that screen. And that started from the very beginning. This whole scene plays out. You have no idea what the context really is. You don't really know what's going on. I don't even know if you know who the guy is. For me, I think they pop up the little tag and say that it's Eric blah blah. Eric Wright, Easy E. But I mean, like, that's it. If I'm a person who is not familiar with Eazy-E, was like, I don't really know what's happening here. Like, I mean, obviously through context, I can tell there's some sort of like drug deal going down, but all of a sudden, like, shit turns sour. This little dude is not backing down. And holy shit, is that the army rolling down the street? No, that's just the cops. And my God, the moment that battering ram goes off and that girl gets hit, holy fuck. I mean, just nothing prepared me for this intro. And wow, what a start. What a fucking start. Go ahead, Jen.
I was curious to know if that is even legal, like what the cops did.
Oh, hell no.
Drove a tank through.
I mean, oh God. Honest, I can't speak, but this seemed like a place that's like a known drug place. They get
like if you're
whatever.
that,
I'm sure you can go. I'm sure.
I feel like if there's a search warrant.
But I mean, dude, I've never seen a thing like this. That was a straight up tank that didn't fire missiles. It fucking punched holes.
I got what it was.
The painting on it cracks me up every time.
The painting on the tank thing?
Yeah,
What was it? I forgot.
it's a smiley. It's like it looks like the Joker, like a
Yes,
Joker face,
yeah.
and it's smiling.
Yeah.
So
And
crazy.
I got to rewatch it and see.
You
Like, I
missed
saw
it?
that there was
Dude,
something painted on it, but that's
the basically like the battering pole thing that they have, and like the plate at the very end that the rammer that they use to bust open doors.
yeah.
It has like a Joker clown's face that's painted right on it, and it's so funny.
That actually, it's funny you mentioned that because when I saw that tank coming through, I was like, I can't tell if this is like an official government thing or if this is like a drug cartel, like in Mexico or something. And
This is
when I saw
Compton.
that Joker face on the tank, I was
Straight.
like, what?
This is Compton.
LAPD.
Straight out of Compton.
Yeah, but it's like we don't even have something like that. Like I'm just like, is that even a real thing in police departments and stuff? But I guess in
But I
Compton,
In the
it
90s,
is.
yeah.
That's the
Like,
80s.
Or I'm sorry, yeah, the 80s.
Yeah, but the smiling face on the tank made me think of like, oh, like police wouldn't have that on their vehicles.
Hell yeah,
or
they
something.
would.
Like I thought maybe it was like a cartel or something that was like trying to get their money because it was like a drug house or a trap house or whatever.
See, now that was something that I could have believed too, right? Like this is some rival gang and they've somehow gotten, but
Yeah,
that feels so freaking Bad Boys,
Yeah.
the bad guys having tanks and stuff.
exactly. Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, I saw the uniforms, I saw the badges. I was like, no, these are the freaking cops.
Yeah. Well, eventually I knew, obviously, but initially it was hard to tell.
The other thing about this intro is, I mean, right off the bat, they start you off, you're kind of like dark screen and you hear sirens and news reports about so and so and how, crack is hitting the nation and all these like flash things, right? But then the beat drops and you're just like, oh, this is gonna be just a killer. Like you just know it's gonna be such a good soundtrack. I can't reenact the beat, but it hits so hard just in the very beginning.
A Dre beat.
Yeah, the Dre beat.
What's it called? A needle point? Needle was it?
Needle
Needle
drop?
drop.
Needle Drop is an actual song. So technically this would be like a score.
Wait, no, I thought you were saying like a needle drop is when they just drop like a beat on you. Like when
No,
they're
a
starting
song
something.
or a part of a song.
No, because we
If it's-
talked
if
about
it's
that in the when the Still Dre song came on in, was it Gotti? I can't remember what movie it was.
Right. So that's part of a song.
Yeah.
But if it's like just instrumental, then it's known as the score.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it
But
was.
what's weird is even if you drop like do 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 where that really is instrumental,
Yeah.
that actually is a song. Therefore, it's a needle drop, even though it's instrumental. Does that make sense?
So you're saying if it has lyrics or not?
The score is written for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The soundtrack is
To enhance it.
given to the movie.
Yeah.
Okay. I just thought you meant like in terms of like how they use any sort of music in general, like when they just hit you with a beat. I thought that was just simply called a needle drop.
No. A needle drop is if a specific song is being used,
Got it. Okay.
whether it's instrumental or not. But if you hear it and you're like, oh, I know that song,
Yeah.
that's a needle drop.
Okay. Yeah. I'll learn something new. See, I don't know everything about film.
I barely know anything either, so don't feel bad.
Hey, we're always learning.
I was talking to the haters that were commenting on how we're wannabe filmmakers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a new Blaster 99 again. I told you he's not having sex with your mom. You can't listen to him.
What?
I don't know.
Bad comments. Noob Blaster 99. You guys haven't been seeing him in the comments?
Noob Blaster.
No.
Like,
I haven't been seeing anyone.
Wow, you guys, you really gotta start digging into our comments, man. I mean, we're blowing up.
What comments?
What comments?
Oh, you guys are just no fun right now.
We don't have comments, do we?
This is a bit, and you guys aren't playing into it. You're just
that's why I was being silent. I
devastated.
wanted them to just like
Just-
Noob
Anyway.
Blaster. That's not even. It's like the most made up name ever.
Wait.
Hey, if we have a troll, that means we're onto something, guys.
Yes, it's me. I am the troll. Let's move on.
We are our own audience.
All right. I love that we are distracted. But we do need to focus up on the movie. So let's get into it. Guys. We've been fighting on this intro. Does anybody have anything else that they want to add to this opening scene?
It's a great way to start straight out of Compton.
It's solid. So I'm going to bring this up just because I don't want to like wait for an opportunity to bring it up. One of the things that I found interesting looking into the facts of this movie is that it was originally written to be more or less a biopic of Eazy-E. So it's just focusing on him. But as it went through changes for reasons and whatnot, it was eventually opened up to be more of a script that is about NWA. So like this is kind of like where one of my complaints is, where this was originally written to be an Eazy-E movie, and I think if it were, it would have been a fantastic story of like an Eazy-E biopic. But because they split it up into the group and that became the intent, it really just became the focus of Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, and Ice Cube.
Mhm.
And like I think it's obvious why they're the three that have like remained the biggest as far as at least in name, right? Like Eazy lives on he's immortal. But Dre and Ice Cube are still out there crushing it. But I imagine these other guys, I know that they had other, like they went on to with powerful careers and stuff too. Like they're doing just fine, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like, to me, it's just a shame that the rest of the group always ends up getting left out in these sorts of movies. And it kind of makes me wish that this was an Eazy-E movie. Because I would love a Dr. Dre movie. I'd love an Ice Cube movie where it's like, it's true biopics. Like we're actually getting to know more about them, not just this point in their life, you know? I feel like we got shorted when it came to these guys. But with that being said, it's everybody's favorite part of the night, memories of the movie. So does anybody have anything that like immediately falls to them? Okay. Nick's hand went up first, followed by Jen.
So the first thing that pops up for me, and I kind of knew it when I watched it too, that it was going to be the thing. It's the moment when I think Dre had just left Ruthless, and we get introduced to Snoop Dogg. I think they're in the house. They're in someone's house, and you see Dre on the keyboard. He's like trying to figure out like the melody, and he does it a couple times. Like it's not quite right. He does it again, and it's not quite right. And then by like the fourth attempt, he gets it right, and then Snoop Dogg comes in and they start talking. I love that little detail of like it really shows like we're getting like a perspective of the making of this art, you know, of this music. And it's just like it only lasts a couple seconds, but it's just a nice little detail. It's like, so that's how it was made, you know. I really love that. It's one of my favorite little moments. Go ahead, Brian.
I titled that little moment.
Oh, did you? Nice.
Yep. I called it nothing but a G moment.
Yeah, that's good.
It's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's and I agree. I think it's so cool when you're just like, he starts doing it and you're like, oh, Anyone that knows the music just knows. And then you're doing it, and he's like, "Oh, you're so close, Dre. You're so close." And then he goes again. You're like, "No, just a little. There it is." But just to see him like, fiddling around on the keyboard and just trying to work, working the angle and just trying to, okay, no, I'm too low. Okay, let's higher up the pitch. Ooh, I like that high pitch, but no, now my flow's off. And then and just how quickly he adjusts. And you're like, and I bet you that's what he did. Like that's how good he was at this. He's just like, I'm just off. I'll adjust this. Boom, boom, boom. And then there it is. Like, and then Snoop Dogg comes in. He's like, whatever you're doing, I love it. Let me just spit something for you. And then 1, 2, 3 into the 4. And I was like, oh, we're off.
Yeah.
It's happening.
It's like they had no idea that they were making that like iconic sound or that iconic intro to a really good song. Yeah.
So there's a
they're making it. What'd you say, Jen?
I would say that's like a perfect tie into like my favorite. Like they had no idea that they're creating all like these hits. So the scene of the movie for me is when they're at the recording studio in, I think it was Torrance. So it's the same studio where they do get arrested outside. But before all of that goes down, when they're recording their songs, there's so much joy in these guys, and it just radiates throughout the screen, and it just I'm here for that. Like I feel like I will always remember like them just like, oh, let's see what we got. Oh, okay. And it's like, oh, it was so sloppy but organized at the same time. Like, who's on the mic now? Okay, this guy. It's like, and then just beats, and it's just so like genuine. And I love it. I love it so much.
Nice. Spinning off of that, like what it reminded me of is the rap battle that they've got, where the diss battle. I love how when it got to that moment in the story where it was bouncing back and forth with these guys, where he said, "What? Oh,
hell no!"
Yeah, well, it's like because that's you. I'm still learning a lot more about like the hip hop history and stuff, but that's a legit thing. Like these guys were talking mad shit to each other through their songs, and some people were more subtle and some people were right up in your face about it. But it was legit. It was real. And I mean, like foreshadowing things like Tupac and Biggie, right? Like, I mean, this led to some literal bloodshed, right? Like, I mean, it's, which I think some of this did too. I don't know. Like NWA, like you'd mentioned the deleted scene. I'm like, I really want to know what this was like seeing Dre get shot. Because one, nobody's talking about him getting shot.
Yeah.
No, literally nobody brings it up. It's not mentioned at all. It's like you were shot 4 times. Like who is it? Is it 50 Cent who was also shot? And it's like, but he was shot in the jaw or something, right? Like
in the chest. I think
is it in the chest? I know it affected the way that like he speaks, and it's like what led to like kind of his iconic style because of what he's capable of. But I mean that's a dude where unfortunately that's kind of part of his origin story. But I don't know. I'm jumping into scenes now, but I'm getting all excited about Dre's history.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know more about Dr. Dre.
The DRE?
It's the motherfucking DOGG. Yeah, I sorry. You guys you also sent me off on the I did love that. I did love seeing Dre like just in the booth at times where he had like where he was working on something, him scratching the records, him hitting the keys. Like loved watching him work in this. All those little moments. He's always been a producer.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't like. I think seeing his involvement with NWA, like it meant more to me, like seeing what it is that he's contributing, because you say producer, like that means so many different things, but like his contribution is fucking like, is insane. The dude was like, he's making the beats, he's making the music, dude is making like he's making it, he fucking doing it.
Like he's not just funding it. Like he's not just budgeting the money. He's not just approving of other people's work. Like he's actually part of making the art itself.
Well, and he's if I'm not mistaken, he's writing lyrics too. So I mean, like at a certain point, not only is he dude making the beats, but he's spitting the rhymes.
Yeah. But like producers nowadays, a lot of them don't create anything. Like they mostly handle like the money and the fiscal and the management and that kind of stuff, right? Or has that not changed?
No, that's a manager. I mean, what a producer is doing is basically advising how a song should go. I'm to a degree giving the music, like producer takes on so many different hats and so many different fields, man. But a producer could be somebody who's like, okay, here's $10,000. Do with it what you will towards your project. That is the extent of my involvement. Right. Other producers, it may be, I'm going to be on set 24/7, making sure that you guys get everything that you need. And this is the story that we tell, because this is what I want to be a part of. Like, I mean, it all ranges.
Yeah.
It's all about the money, boys.
Brian, you got your moment?
I got a couple. A lot of this movie has just really, really good moments, quick moments and scenes. Some of the ones that I think about right off the bat, if someone were to say, "Oh, have you seen Straight Outta Compton?" The police brutality is something that certainly jumps to mind. O'Shea Jackson's performance is another one, and an image that I can't that I it's so holy shit the way things were, or how bad they were when it came to the message that they were trying to get across about how they're over this police brutality, is when Crips and Bloods have tied their bandanas together and walk side by side. I was like, Jesus.
Did that happen? Was that a thing?
I don't know. I mean, it seemed like a pretty real told story, and it wasn't a lot. Like, I can't picture Ice Cube or Dr. Dre being like, "Let's jazz this bitch up." Yeah. Like they're raw, they're real, they're raw, they're to the core, right? And so I can only imagine that someone might have caught it on video, or someone took a picture of it, or what have you. But
or they knew people in the gangs.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if that actually happened. And so that's definitely an image that resonates deep when someone says Straight Outta Compton. So I think those are my memories, along the ones that you guys have also talked about, where it's Snoop Dogg's performance or Tupac's like these small little moments of what would be legends in the rap industry.
Yeah, you brought up like the tying the bandanas and things, and like for me, whether it's real or not, I think the point is that it represents the impact of that moment of where these are guys that are killing each other on the streets every day, but in this moment they recognize a common enemy.
Yep.
And that's what really matters.
Yeah.
It's like they formed
that's a powerful fucking scene.
Hell yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like,
and they slow-mo it. I mean, they fuzzy, they kind of like blurry vision, and it's just sharp focus on what they want to really, shed to light.
I wonder what some comments on that were.
I don't know.
What some comments? What?
Like what some comments would be if active gang members saw that when they saw it.
Oh, like when it actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, like it's obviously still a problem today of like, gang members killing and shooting at rival gang members. So like that's still an issue, but I think it's still like just being someone who works for a police department, like I kind of see some stuff. And it's like there is still kind of this like collective of, a lot of gangs not liking the police, right? And so it's like they formed an alliance to kind of be, anti-police and whatnot. But that doesn't mean that they, all of a sudden stop shooting at each other, and like that stuff hasn't ended. Yeah. So it just all goes back to what we said earlier. Like nothing really changed much. Like all the stuff that happened in the 80s and 90s, like it still happens today. On what scale, that is, like I'm sure that's different, but the actual acts of all of it still happens very much. Because it wasn't that long ago. Like it's not that long ago when this stuff started. People have been in existence for thousands of years, like, but this stuff has really only started, in the modern day, like 30, 40 years ago. Anyway.
Dude, this has been going on for centuries, and like that's the worst part is like,
well, yeah.
I mean, the concept of a gang, absolutely.
Like, but like what we know as gangs today is what started back in the 80s and in the 90s. Like that hasn't changed. Obviously, like before that, it was like the mob, like the mafia and like those, like the original gangsters from like the 20s and like, but that has evolved into like what is nowadays to be different than what was before the 80s. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the modern,
I mean, but even like I guess like the concept of a gang in itself, that truly does go back to centuries, where it's like,
yep.
What am I trying to say here? I guess like a movie reference, since we are a movie club, would be like Gangs of New York.
I haven't seen that
one with Leo and Daniel Day-Lewis and everything, and how I forgot who they. I know it's red and blue. I remember that.
It's the natives and the dead rabbits.
Thank you. I knew it was a rabbit or something, right? And so like that's truly gang related. It's nothing to do with, it's not like, how this movie is, where it's basically Bloods and Crips and all that stuff, but essentially it's the same concept. It's two groups that dislike each other entirely and aren't afraid to fight each other and take each other's lives.
It's all about territory. It's all about, selling dope. Like it's about respect, like it's all that kind of stuff.
I mean, take it back to the Montagues and the Capulets.
And hustling, like, all the hustle. Yeah.
Yeah. Matt, did you give your memories yet or no?
I gave one.
Okay.
This movie is so many different ones.
It really does. It's like,
I will say I love.
What day did you catch me on?
Yeah, I will say I love the concerts. I think it was the Detroit show where they get arrested at the end, but that moment leading up to Ice Cube doing "Fuck the Police" and just the like them kind of like looking like, hey, we doing this? Like they told us straight up, like, we doing this? Like, yeah, we're fucking doing this. All right, let's do this. And then they go right into it. Everybody ready? All right. Hey, yo, D, I got something to say. Hey, I loved it. It was just I've never been to like a hip hop show, but the energy there, like every time
they're electrifying,
that they were live, I'm like, God, man, like freaking the adrenaline pumping, like be freaking fantastic energy. And I'm curious what because they never really address it, but the pop, 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 and like there's what is probably shots, but they never really address who was it. Did somebody actually get shot? Was it the cops? Did the cop, like what happened? They never really addressed that. I kind of wish I knew, but
Yeah.
love all of the concert stuff. Seeing them on stage was such a blast. And God, them doing that, like the whole song was great. Go ahead, Brian.
No, it was Jen first.
Was it Jen? Sorry.
Well, I was gonna share. Did you have a comment on what Matt said?
Yeah, it's on his scene.
Go ahead and comment, because I just have one more memory.
No, I mean, what the scene that you brought up, it's such a good scene. You can tell the chemistry between the boys, and they're just like prior to this, they have this sit down with them on the staircase, and they're surrounded by cops, and they're like,
"Are we just gonna do our show?"
They're like, "This is how it's gonna go down, guys," and then they're like, okay, sure, whatever. And at the very end, they're like, "Oh yeah, fuck the police." And we're like, "Okay, well, we can see how well they listen to." But like, I mean, I'm sorry, the audacity of the cops to be like, "This is what you can play. This is what you can't play." Like, you can actually go fuck yourself, because you're under the rights of the number
First
2
Amendment.
Second Amendment.
First Amendment.
Right? First Amendment. I'm sorry, First Amendment. Yeah. So I don't know what the hell you're doing, just sitting me down saying what I can and cannot play. And then just the way that they do, they don't just play it, right? They have to build it up and really build it up. And I love how they keep cutting back to the cop that was giving the speech. And it's just they're staring each other down in a crowd full of people, and they're just like locked eyes with each other. And Cube is like, "Raise your fingers high," and you have to imagine that this is how it went down that night, right? And
you
just
really want it to be
the hardest hit to start that song. Like he hits it so hard, he slams his arms down. Like, oh man, really, really good stuff. The cinematography in this movie is fantastic. They've got some great shots, even in this one when they're actually on the breakaway to run away from the cops, and they're sprinting, and they got like they're going in between two of the vans or whatever RVs, and it's all 5 of them or 6 of them are lined up and they're running, and I'm like, God, that angle is so good. It's down at the feet. It's the color's different. Oh man, they're just really dialing up on the cinematography there. But I kind of also want to just unpack a little bit about being arrested in real life, not the movie. Let's just talk about real life. How did they even get away with this shit? The fact that they were arrested just because they sang a song, and they tried to say that it was you instigated a riot to break out. And I'm like, no way that flies. You can't just put the blame on someone else's actions because of something else. Like that, it just doesn't work that way. I'm shocked that they even were able to be arrested for that shit. Like it's, I guess there's no way that happens nowadays.
okay.
I'm just gonna chalk it up to what?
It's a show of force, dude. That's all it is.
But I'm just gonna chalk it up to this is they had a little bit more Wild Wild West actions in the 90s than now, because now you cannot arrest someone if they're playing something that you don't like, or that it just doesn't happen that way. You cannot be arrested for that shit.
I think
you will be, and if you are arrested, you're about to get paid handsomely because you're going to get sued out the wazoo for it.
And everything's on instant.
100%.
Instant.
100%. I think it was a different ball game, a different stadium.
Yeah, I don't think I even saw a cell phone in this movie. Life before phones, you watched with your eyes.
Right? You used lighters, actual lighters.
Or glow sticks.
Yeah. Nick, are you continuing or did?
Well, I was going to continue off of what you were saying, Brian, but I know,
Perfect.
Jen, you had your hand up.
No, mine's just one more memory, not even connected to it.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to bring this up because like I'm with you. I was baffled to see that these police were really thinking that they could have any sort of legal action towards the group in their right to exercise free speech.
It's
Right.
bullshit.
And what I really think it is, or what it was back then, was that they were just butthurt.
Yeah.
Right? Like they were really like butthurt that this group that is getting popular is like turning the nation against them. Right? Instead of like the law enforcement realizing like what they were doing at that time and like taking responsibility for like for their actions of like police brutality, on Black people that that was uncalled for, like them essentially doing the shady stuff that it happens less nowadays than it did back then. But also just to bring up, like, all of this was new. This was so new back then, right? Like the police even talk about like, oh, what's this rap stuff? It's not
Right.
art. It's not real. Like you're just inciting violence, blah blah blah. Like,
Well, I mean, the type of
nobody
rap you had was
knew.
like Run DMC.
Yeah, like
And it was
nobody
like
knew.
corny style, like who was Humpty Hump? No, what was his name? Do the Humpty Hump.
Humpty Hump.
Humpty. Like
Yeah.
that's the type of rap that people knew about. Like this,
Sugar
like
Hang.
Yeah.
like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, speaking of DJ
style rap,
did
where
music for
these
this.
guys, NWA was like, no, we're different. We're way different. We're tired of this shit. And really, they're fighting back. That's
Yeah.
all it is. It's like
It's
they
like
were the
social
ones that are being
political stuff.
retaliated, or they were the ones that were getting just completely what's the word?
Mishandled.
Not mishandled. That sounds strange.
Well,
Active misconduct, I think, is the best way to put it, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, fuck this. Like, I'm sick of it. I'm now going to express my frustration in the way that I know how, and I'm fighting back. And
With words,
other people
right?
who are treated the same way are like, oh, it's not just me. Fuck it. I found my crew now, and it just exploded. And rightfully so, because I'm sorry, like, cops are fantastic when it comes to saving us, protecting us, and keeping us safe. But I cannot stand a cop that abuses powers.
Yeah.
That's where the line's drawn. What, Jen?
Anybody that abuses.
I mean, yeah, anyone in general, but especially someone that is sworn to service to serve and protect. It's not to fucking serve and abuse or serve and dictate or serve and what have you. And that's what was going on when NWA was becoming like lightning in a bottle famous, because they were the ones that were reality rapping. If you don't like what we have to say, maybe you shouldn't fucking do it. I knew I was going to get heated on this one.
well, just to finish my thought, like you just kind of led me right into it. Like this was almost like their form of protest.
100, yeah, that's exactly
like protesting
what it
is like non-violent protesting. They're using their words, they're giving speeches, just in the form of music, and music is how people connect.
Yep.
Right. And so like this was like they were doing it the right way, and just like the the LAPD specifically, I guess, because that's really what they were focusing on here. They didn't see it as as a nonviolent protest. They thought like, oh, they're just slandering us and we're
Right.
gonna arrest them because we don't like it. Like, no,
And,
fuck that.
and
Like,
it had to have been a nationwide issue because it wasn't the LAPD that sent a letter. It was the FBI,
was it the FBI?
which means everybody that once they actually got world, or I don't know, worldwide famous, but at least nation famous from East Coast to West or West Coast to East Coast, you can't help but think this is an issue that Black people were facing in law enforcement, no matter what state you were in, from New York to LA. If FBI is starting to issue this, because that means that there was retaliation happening statewide.
Yeah.
And I'm good for them. Good for them.
They were very bold.
And the other thing, I mean, we saw a bit of it throughout the movie, but even with the retaliation, even with the spotlight that NWA was putting on the issues of the police department, we still in real life had the Rodney King situation. So how bad was it is the question.
Matt, you had an epiphany while we were talking. Did you?
I mean, I wouldn't call it an epiphany, but we were talking about the style of rap, and I remembered a fact about DJ Jazzy Jeff because he came up.
Oh, from when I say Fresh Prince, or
well, we were talking about how like before these guys, rap at the time was a little bit more like cheesy and stuff, and cops were like, "There's no career in rap. Like, there's nothing like it's not real art."
Yeah.
But yeah, so according to fact on IMDb, the actual scratching when Dre is on the turntables was done by DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Oh, interesting.
So don't be dissing the jazz man.
I mean, I'm not dissing the jazz man, but you gotta admit, dude, 80s rap was
it was definitely different.
Dying. Like it started and then it was slowly just going downhill.
Well, it's because it was trying to be popular, right? Like
right.
I think that's what. We watched Dolomite, right? Dolomite is my name. That was in the 70s, and that was at a time where blaxploitation and stuff was blowing up. Like that was an opportunity that led to, modern day rap, right? So that was an opportunity where the country was made aware of the impact that the Black audience can have on pop culture and media.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go through the 80s of rap music kind of being what it is, and it being a phenomenon. But
nailed it.
The 80s kind of being their version of what's next. And then these guys coming in where it's not dissing or disrespecting the origins, it's taking what steps and things were made and originated by them. And like you said, or like they said, making reality rap.
Right.
This is the reality of the world we live in. These are the things we experience every day. And we're going to be in your face about it because you can't ignore us forever.
Yep.
Sorry. Weird. I don't know how I got there from DJ Jazzy Jeff, but
all good. We're back. Full circle.
Yeah.
Jen, you had a memory.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to the actor Dre, and when he found out that like his brother died, that like guttural scream that he did, it was just so good. so good, so believable.
Yeah.
He nailed it. He nailed it.
I'm curious about the flashback. Like, does that actually show his brother dying?
I think so.
Is that why it was cut out?
I think so. But I'm very curious because, you know, he says somebody broke his neck and it was in a fight. Like, I'm so curious as to what that means. Like, I'm not imagining it's some Bruce Lee jumping behind a guy and kind of like breaking his neck, you know, like this is a much more brutal form.
Yeah.
So like I'm curious.
Maybe he like got shoved, fell wrong, kind of broke his neck thing, rather than like, I don't know, my brain just can't actually picture anyone snapping someone's neck.
Sadly, I'm imagining him getting knocked to the ground and somebody stomping on the back of his neck.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Oh, did they
Gosh.
never explain how he died?
All they say is somebody broke his neck in a fight.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it doesn't go into details of deleted scenes on this, but I'll let you guys know when I watch all of the details. Oh, God, I'm gonna have.
Well, we still got some things to talk about. I'll start us off.
Oh, wait, I just want to just say I'm gonna be on for like another hour, and then I gotta go.
Okay.
All right, so I've got a scene for us.
Yes.
I called it "Street Schooled on the Bus."
Woo! Oh my gosh, that scene was hilarious and terrifying.
I loved it. I loved it so much. It was basically like, I think someone, or no, I think that show was already out by, damn it, never mind. But this is basically like Scared Straight on a Bus, pretty much.
Scared Straight in real life.
But oh man, like, come on, what are you kids doing? Like, just flashing your gang signs, you're not even part of a gang. And I just love how they act like, oh, okay, cool, just idiot kids. And then all of a sudden they're like, you know, enough is enough. And they just pull right in front of the bus. And it's like, if you think about it, it's like, it's a fucking bus. You could like plow right through that pretty easily, but
with the mafia.
No, exactly. Exactly. And then he gets out and he just taps the gun on the door, and the bus driver's like, yeah, sure. We'll open this up because this is not my problem.
What's he
like
gonna
a daily
do?
occurrence.
No, I know. What is he gonna do? Exactly. And then just, man, his intro is fucking terrifying. He comes up on the bus and he says, y'all ready to die today? I'm like, oh, fuck me. This is when I'm like, if I'm a white boy in the back, I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm
just gonna play my Game Boy.
I'm gonna go over here.
Yeah.
Game Boy.
My God.
There's no way you were getting on that bus with that Game Boy, white boy.
Jesus, dude. Like, just the way he starts off with that, and then he's like, who were popping up the gang signs? And then the little kid's like, I was just playing, man. I was just playing. It's like, dude, that that there is some urine all over that scene.
Dude, he put that gun to his head.
Oh, to his head. He's straight
and finger on the trigger. Did you notice that?
Oh yes.
Finger on the trigger, like he could just.
One of my best, the funniest lines that he says is, y'all motherfuckers need to gang bang them books. That is amazing. That is one way of saying stay in school.
Stay in school.
This scene is, I respect it. I really do. Because, I mean, you know, he clearly made his choices. He's already down his road. There's really no change in him. But to try to change the youth, you know, more power to you, buddy. And thank you for not popping kids on a school bus. That I appreciate that as well. But to scare the shit out of them for being stupid, fuck yeah, I'm with it.
I bet
I'm
you
absolutely with it.
that's probably like Barack Obama for all we know.
Yeah.
He grew up in Chicago, didn't? No, he's Hawaii. His Michelle was Chicago.
But could have saved some lives there by doing
Yeah,
what he did.
100%.
Well, it's like
I'd be straight. I wouldn't have the life I chose. I'd be straight A student.
And his fucking baseball card name that he had, like that was a hell of a name, like something Crenshaw blood something 2 time. I'm like, damn. Like, how many badges is that?
It was at the end where he was like, just
Oh
know
my
like you're marked by Crenshaw Mafia or something, like you're marked by the Crenshaw Mafia. It's like, holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah, that is one dude you don't fuck around with.
yeah, I was just gonna say that like I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I hear stories every once in a while where you have like an ex-gang member, they'll go to schools and they'll like have like presentations like for elementary school kids.
Oh yeah.
And it's not exactly the you know, scaring them straight like he did on the bus.
No guns at the school campus.
no. All right, all y'all kids are gonna get a gun to your head one by one. Like,
And then his friend's like with a shotgun, like
just like giving the speech, or just the gun in his lap. But like, it's just you hear stories about.
You
like,
get the ending of Blues Brothers and the
Oh my god. Yeah, you just hear stories about that a lot, and then like I just think that that's super important.
Yeah.
You know.
Anyway, so I just want to bring up that scene.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good scene.
that is good.
Yeah. Can we talk about the pool parties? Just,
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about?
they look fun.
I bet
That water was blue.
The blue water, yeah. I mean, you got fully clothed women, you got fully half naked women, you got fully naked women. Like it's like you got all the different types of women there.
Diversity, man, goes a long way.
Yeah, like you got white girls, black girls, Asian, like all different women from different walks of life, and I'm just like, why can I be there?
Let's remember the ending of this movie, friend. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
The lesson itself.
Yeah, he had to move into a moderate, normal sized house that didn't have all the women. But
So, I mean, which pool party were you talking about? Easy's pool party, or
I mean,
Right.
both of them. It's just for me, it's not really a whole lot to say other than just like they look like they were fun, like they were really having a good time, like you know, celebrating and living like the rich, you know, like they've made it, you know, and this is
Mhm.
like now they're indulging on everything, right? Like the women, the money, the house, you know. I wasn't sure if they were like doing drugs or anything, like if they were living like rock stars, but they were living the high life, like they were living the good life. And then just to kind of see like the downfall, especially for Eazy-E, to go from like those pool parties to like losing his house, and then you know getting sick, and you know getting fucked over by Jerry, and like with the contracts, and like just seeing that downhill from those pool parties, it's like a steep and quick incline or decline.
Yep.
Yeah,
That-
I just thought it was powerful.
That does make me think of a question I was going to ask you guys. Who's in favor of Jerry screwing over Eazy-E? And who's in favor of like it really was just business, and that's the ugly side of business as well? For me, I feel like I need more facts. I need to see like what those contracts like or about. I need like maybe more details,
Yeah.
but I would say that Jerry did give like a compelling speech to Easy when it was just like the one-on-one. Because from what we see in the movie, he did have their back. You know, he was in the fights with them and tried to tame the wild people that they were. Like, let's not get kicked out of another hotel. So, you know, I really don't know if Jerry is all that guilty. I guess there's always two sides of the story. Matt, were you first?
That was Matt.
Okay, Matt.
I'm still kind of on the fence with the two. Like I'll say towards the end of it, I was like, no, fuck Jerry. But I mean, ultimately, what I think kind of happened without the facts kind of being laid out is I think Jerry did exactly what he said he would do with Easy E and be like, it's your thing. I'm just gonna do this. I'm the manager and I'm taking my 20%. But like within the contracts and stuff that he was getting them to sign, he's also giving himself like plus bonuses for when they sell this many things and like ways of like padding his own paycheck of like that just him not being aware of because he never read the contracts. But I also think that it's a mix of Easy E not being good with his money and just like overindulging kind of thing. Like, what was it, like the MC Hammer effect of, you blow up, you have all of this money, and then you go bankrupt, and you lose it all. Like, I also kind of see that side of it too. So it's interesting because I do feel like it can go both ways, and I'm still like I since we're bringing it up, I find myself on the fence with Jerry, but at the end of watching it, I was like, no, that dude he just fucked him over. That's all he did, pure and simple. And I think it's because when they're having that heart to heart and he kind of repeats himself where he's like, he like, I'm saying these words exactly the same way I said them the first time because I have no other way of saying it. Whereas I initially saw that as like him not having an excuse and trying to cover his ass. Maybe it was him kind of saying like, I'm not the reason you have no money. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, I just to add to all of that. I think Jerry's character is written perfectly. Like you really don't know his full intentions. You really don't know if he is screwing these guys over or if it really is just the business. Like the way he presents it's like you just can't tell, and that's the beauty in whoever wrote his character and wrote his lines did an excellent job because at the end of the day, you really don't know. Like you don't know if he is purposefully withholding information, or if like a lot of the jargon and terminology in those contracts like were written in a way that that these guys just would not comprehend or understand, or like if he knew that they would never go take these contracts to a lawyer. Like you just don't know any of it, and the way that he presents all of it, it just makes you think like the entire movie, is he doing right by these guys or not? Because even when the group starts to kind of get into the argument of do we boot Jerry, do we keep Jerry, like fuck Jerry, we like Jerry, one of them, I think it's Easy, says like, man, like if it wasn't for Jerry, we wouldn't have all of this. Like he's the one that helped us make this shit happen. And it's like, so we the audience get the impression that Jerry is doing right by them, right? But then there's other moments when Ice Cube gets fucked over because of the contracts not being done right. And so it's like it flip flops back and forth, and you just don't know. And then Matt, like you said, you know, would Easy E have been in that situation if he had, invested his money or like used his spent his money better in a more sustainable way? Because we hear about that all the time with celebrities, like they rise and fall. Um, and so I just wanted to say I just really liked the way that they wrote Jerry's character. And not even just from like a producer or record label kind of guy, but even just his attitude with the guys, like after they get arrested, outside of the studio, he's like telling the guys to, get back inside and telling the cops to fuck off. Like he's just, man, I love his character so much. I love it. Was it Brian or Jen? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, just to kind of add on, the one really interesting thing that I thought this movie did incredibly well is the storytelling. So you've got these group of guys that are basically making magic here in LA, trying to put Compton on the map, and then that goes from that to holy crap, this is going to be huge, right? And you got everyone that's trying to get their hands in on this and record deals and whatnot. And they're thinking, oh, this is going to be a walk in the park for us because we're dealing with people that have no experience in this. They're just a bunch of guys that like to make rap music and we should be able to swindle them and blah, blah, blah. But the movie does a phenomenal job of showing how smart Eazy-E, Ice Cube, and Dr. Dre really are. And it's kind of like here we're dealing with what we thought was going to be literally like stealing candy from a baby to we're kind of in over our heads right now because these guys are street life. So they don't like to get fucked with, and they're actually intelligent and know what it is that they need to be looking for. And I just thought that the movie did an amazing job in making me feel like, wow, these guys weren't just these thug gangsters that happened to throw down some lyrics and throw down a beat, and all of a sudden, boom, here we are. It's like, no, they were educated men, and they knew what they wanted. They knew how they were going after it, and it just really adds that drama to the movie, which I thought it was just a really smart move there. Um, and then, to answer Jen's question, I don't think I really know enough about the contracts to know if Jerry was mean or was bad or not. Do I think that he screwed them over? Absolutely, I do. Because if you don't have lawyer representation, a record deal or a record company will screw you over any chance they can get. Because that's their job. That's what their goal is. Their goal is to maintain their bottom line and keep their pockets full and use you as their cash cow. I mean, that's really what they're doing. And so if you don't have lawyer representation, you're not gonna fare well against these do you think the record company made these contracts off of Bob in the corner office? Absolutely not. They had their own lawyers who penciled things down and ironed out the details that were clearly in favor of the company, hoping that no one challenged and no one did that. And that's just the way it is. So as far as do I think Jerry screwed him over, I'm damn right he did. How much he screwed him over, that's where the movie doesn't give you enough information and all that stuff. But I also agree if it wasn't for Jerry and getting started, like basically being the workhorse to get to where they were, they probably wouldn't have gotten there as fast. He was heavily connected. He used his connections, all that stuff. And yeah, he does deserve to be compensated for that. But it's always when they get big is when the big problems happen because money gets in the way, people get greedy, and this is also the collapse of the downturn of the movie where once money is involved, now we're just worried about contracts and getting paid, and we've lost focus on how we started, and it was the passion to drop a beat and drop rhymes on that beat and have fun with friends. I'm so glad that was recorded because damn, I crushed that.
You're muted.
I know. Have any of you guys seen The Lords of Dogtown?
Yes.
Does
The
it not
skateboarding
have-
one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Does it not have a very similar vibe as far as like biopic and story goes? Where like same thing where at a certain point it becomes all about like fame and getting the money.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, we got to come back to the thing we love. Let's come back to the skating. Let's come back to the music, right?
Honestly, it's the same with Rock of Ages, which also has Paul Giamatti as the scumbag manager
He's good.
for Stacey Jacks.
He's good at what he does.
But what happens is, he starts off with Julian Hughes and the guy's character, and then one of them, I forgot which one, someone goes, "Oh, Julian Hughes gets big." And all of a sudden it's about the money and here we go again. It's just like it's like a common thing. Rockstar as well with Mark Wahlberg. It's a common trend.
Yeah. I just want to bring up that like connection where as far as story
The
and
perfect connection.
so similar, just so similar.
And even like I said with Rockstar, it's like all he does is he just has this infatuation for the band. Anyone remember? Help me here.
And which one?
Rockstar, Mark Wahlberg.
Oh God, what is their
They're kind of like the Kiss of our
they're not though.
They're not, but
what the hell was that band called?
Band called.
Damn it. Steel Dragon.
Steel Dragon.
Steel Dragons. Okay. Yeah. So he's just a huge fan of Steel Dragons. Like that's really where this is. He wants to be his own rock star. And then he goes to a concert and all of a sudden he's now a member of Steel Dragons because the lead singer gets pissed off and goes away. And everything's fine. He's living his dream. He's a member of Steel Dragon and the money starts coming in and boom, here come the problems. It's just, I don't know. What?
Mo money, mo problems.
Mo money, mo problems. Take life for what it is, guys. If you start to get wealthy, try not to have mo problems.
Invest it. Just invest it.
Like it's just, I don't know what it is about this. It's like you get these great opportunities and then just greed, man. Greed. It destroys everything.
Yeah. We're living it in 2024 right now.
What I was gonna say is like if we compare Jerry to Suge Knight, I think Suge Knight screwed over Dre.
Oh.
Or way more than
100. Yeah, Suge Knight was like just a prick.
He was like a killer. Like he fucking.
This dude was straight up gang member.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I want to know his history.
I don't know.
What's Bompton? Anyone know Bompton is?
Yeah, so there was a thing for this in IMDb facts where they
Bompton when
it had to do with his gang when like it was him basically stating this like the street.
Yeah, it's so he lets it out when during the scene where they've got Easy pinned and they're like sign this to release Dre and who was it? Was it the Doc or was it MC Ren? I forgot. One of them. It was the Doc.
It was DOC.
DOC, yeah. So release DOC and Dr. Dre from here. Or from Ruthless. Yeah, that's like not Death Row. That's not right. And then Easy standing his ground and everything, but then gets his ass beat. But right before he's like, I forgot what he says, but some like, this is Bompton, and I was like,
at Compton.
No, it's a B. He says Bompton.
There we go.
What's
the IMDb fact reads as follows: Suge Knight tells Easy E, "You know where the fuck I'm from? This Bompton N-word." This is because he's affiliated with the MOB Peru Bloods of Compton.
What is bomb? Like, what is that a part
It's
of Compton?
it's like being part of the Crips and
Yeah. Okay.
Well, he's part of the Bloods in Compton, but it's
Blood.
yeah,
Because he was all red. He was wearing like the red.
yeah,
was,
like
tracksuit.
it's, but it's all based off of like neighborhoods, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the problem with LA, right? It's fucking massive.
Territory. Yep.
It's so I mean, like these, like Compton is basically what would you consider? Like Compton's like, I mean, it's essentially like a town.
Like South LA, isn't
It's
it?
a city.
It's a city in itself.
Yeah.
Isn't it like Southeast LA? Isn't that where
I really
Compton
don't
is?
know. Like I haven't spent much time in LA.
Yeah. It's Compton, California. It's an actual city.
I know that, but I'm saying, like, isn't it like it's part of LA County?
Yes, part of the county.
Yeah.
Part of the county, part of the crew.
Yeah.
I got a scene for us if we need something.
Yeah, let's go for it.
I need something.
I titled this "Damn Dre, is it time?"
Damn, Dre, is it time?
This
Damn,
feels
Dre,
like
is
it's
it
like
time?
my scene that I brought up of like the fuck the police, but I don't know.
No, here's a hint. This is our intro to Dr. Dre. Or it's not our intro, but it
Intro
is
to Ice Cube. He
no.
raps.
It's more of our intro to Dre's talent.
Oh, is it when he's spinning the records at that first club? Yeah.
No, not the first club.
No, the
His
one where the manager was like, "Don't play any of that rap shit."
Nope. This is before that.
Before that.
at his aunt's house.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
When Dre is spinning at his aunt's house, oh my god, he's killing the table.
Yeah. I forgot about
It's
that.
time. It's time. And just, dude, I can watch that over and over again. It is, I'm like, and that is why you're Dr. Dre. I understand.
I wonder if it came that easy to him, like as they showed. I'd be curious to know his start on the turntables.
Man, and then like Ice Cube comes in and he's just like, he instantly just starts bumping it. Everyone is just like feeling it, and they're like, and then Dre is just so in the zone. I don't even think he even notices Ice Cube come in, and I'm like, that is art right there. That is an artist at his work, and we don't disturb him.
Don't disturb me, artist.
Yeah, quick scene. Definitely wanted to bring a highlight to it.
No, I really liked it too because it's Ice Cube getting home from school, and like, you know, it's the meetup. This is the first time we've got Dre and Cube together.
Right.
I don't even think, because it's, who's the third guy?
Wasn't that Dre's brother?
Yeah.
Or
No.
Dre's.
I think it was the
Not Dre's
dude-
brother.
I don't remember his name. He always annoys me in this one, to be honest. It's the one that shows up to their first show without being in all black. I don't know his name.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
He's got the yellow jersey on and everything.
Yeah.
He really drives me insane in this one. He always seems like he's just like riding the coattails and really not doing anything except just hanging out with friends.
Just such a slacker guy.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's probably why they give him that little bit of redemption in the end, where it's like, oh damn, you trying to be like Dre? And I was like, I'm about to pass Dre. Like,
Yeah.
he's kind of like, he stepped it up, and like he is doing his thing now. He's not just coasting. It's like they showed him the way.
Yeah.
Gotcha, that guy. But what I really liked about this was, one, you find out that Cube lives across the street, and also just walking out of a house, this boy, he's 17 years old, is being thrown into cop cars. He's being arrested. He's got his hands behind his back. He's being searched. He's like, he just walked out of a house. just walked out of a house. He was even trying to avoid it. Like he walked out of the house. He's keeping his mouth shut. He's staying quiet, and he's just like, I'm just trying to go home. He could not walk across the street. Like
Was that the same scene where he had like a record in his hand?
He may have, but I mean, he's definitely
no, it
holding
was the school
notebooks
books.
with all of his
Oh, it was his books.
notes and
Yeah.
things.
Well, regardless, like it was something that he had that like wasn't a gun or a weapon, like anything that would be threatening. This is another one of those scenes where the cops were just like, oh, you're black, you're a minority, like you live in this neighborhood, you must be up to no good. Like, so we're gonna check you anyways because we are abusing our power. Like
that's why I
gross,
thought that
you know?
this movie was going to focus more on the whole, like the Rodney King and the trial and the riots and everything. Like they set it up early and often. I mean, we see, God, I mean, how many times do they get arrested just before they even go solo? You know, at least 4 times do we see these guys getting arrested or in handcuffs or thrown around by cops. I mean, it is constant. Go ahead, Brian.
Well, I mean, you're leading me right into another scene that I've titled truly fuck the police.
Yeah.
And I think we know what scene this is, but this is the one that just pisses me off to no extent. And it's when they are they're at the recording studio. And I forgot, is it Dre's called out to talk to the baby mama, and then he goes to right? Okay.
Yeah.
And so you see a cop go by. I don't know if you guys catch that, but a cop drives by and sees Dre talking to the baby mama through the driver window and all that stuff. But then the cop disappears. And then the baby mama drives away and he's starting to walk back, and then his crew NWA comes out and they're like, "Hey man, everything good?" And now we've got a bunch of gangsters on the sidewalk, and here come the LAPD.
Mhm.
And I mean, great job on the actors on this one for absolutely making me just hate you in 2 seconds. But the fact that this truly happened is absolutely disgusting. You hog tie them, you put them prone on the sidewalk. You are literally just stereotyping them because of the way that they look when they were standing on a sidewalk, making sure their friend was okay, taking a break from actually working and producing something for people to listen to. Like, how fucking dare you guys? The ignorance of these guys. And then the fact that one of them was a black cop and decided to just climb up like hierarchy mountain on these guys, and we're like, oh sir, are you a manager, not a lawyer? Like, these look like gangsters, and just the way he's trying to talk like he's freaking, Bel Air over here. And man, this scene is just it's done so well, but it's so sad to see that people were treated this way. And I mean, they are just in the wrong on so many levels. And again, they're using their badge to abuse their powers, and it's disgusting. Go ahead, Matt.
This is, I think, one of the first moments where you really are cheering for Jerry, where you're like, he walks out there, witnesses what's going on, and immediately goes to their defense of like, what do you do? And it's not that he's being quiet about it either. Like you say, he's like, you're a fucking disgrace is the last thing he says.
Yep.
And like it is an intense moment. And I do appreciate that Jerry, from the moment he's out there, is on their defense.
Oh, he's battling for his boys. 100%.
I think he does. Because we argue, but I think he did at some point, if not still does. Like he cared about these guys.
He does. I agree.
I think when he said, like, in this movie, I'm going to go with the quotes on this one. When he said, "You've got something special here. Like, this means something." I do think that he meant that. Like this, what you guys are trying to say, what you guys are trying to do is important.
Yeah.
I can't equate what that is because it's me, but I recognize that.
Yep.
This is important what you're doing, and I want to make it happen. And for me, the most disgusting part at the end of this thing is the full power trip move at the end of him shoving Easy back down. Is like, you don't tell them when to get up. I tell them when to get up.
do, yeah.
And then just stands there for a sec just to be, just cause. All right, now you can get up.
Yep.
Like, God, was it Cube was the last one in? I mean, like, I think that moment alone is what really fuels. I mean, like everything that's being said, those last thing, Cube just standing in the doorway, not saying a damn word, but Jerry defending and multiple cops, but also like the black cop who for some reason decided to take lead on this. Like you can see it burning inside of Cube, and then for him to be like, I got something, I'm going. Like I'd like to lead into that. Like it's a powerful moment for them as a group, but we feel that too coming right off of that. And I think it's all based right in that last moment there of watching Cube kind of like soak it all in of like, they're eating this up. They are so proud and okay with themselves of what they just did. They are going to walk away from this and smile. Fantastic job. Go ahead, Brian.
Well, I mean, this is the best thing. The way that the moves that this movie makes. You've got that scene. They're all going back inside now that the power trip is over and everything. And Cube is letting everyone pass him and just staring down the cops. And you listen to the cops, and what does one of them say? What? You got something to say? And I'm like, what a transition. Because then he keeps staring him down. And he's like, you got something to say? And then he finally goes inside, and Cube is like, fuck yeah, I got something to say. He writes that thing down in seconds, and he's like, yo, Dre, check this. And he's like, damn, like everyone is just like jaw dropped on it, and fuck the police is born. And rightfully so. I am sorry when it comes to with the way they were treated, and they are the police officers that they're talking about. They're not talking about fuck the police as a whole. I don't think at that point, maybe because it might have been a majority type deal. But if you're a dirty cop, this song is about you, and I want you to know that we see you. And bravo. And way to go, Cube. Way to go.
Yeah, but what I think is really well done, not just in this scene, but in this whole movie, that it's never an issue about race. Like it's never like a black versus white or white versus black issue.
Right.
Because those officers, like one of them was black too. And it just like if that's how it actually was in real life, like if one of those officers was black, like it's really not an issue about race. It's just about like the police and their perspective and how they see people like them.
It's badges versus gangsters.
Yeah.
Don't even say gangsters because that's an oversimplification. It is badges versus black men.
Sure. Yeah, because all of those guys were not gangsters. It was only Eazy-E and someone else, right?
Yeah, but they look like it. But yeah,
but because they looked like it,
that's
like
profile.
Yeah, exactly. It's guilty by association, right?
Yeah, you look like you did a bad thing, therefore you did.
Yeah,
and so it's like the movie does a really good job at like that being the message about like cops versus black people rather than like white people versus black people.
Right.
So they did a really good job writing that and really showing it, with the type of characters that they had, playing officers.
It was funny when Jerry asked, what does NWA stand for? No one.
Yeah, no
No
whites
whites
allowed.
allowed. The most like white person thing to say.
I
I love that
think
he's trying to make a joke about it.
Easy was trying so hard not to laugh over that character.
Yeah, that's funny. Go ahead, Matt.
I lost it.
Sorry.
I'll save you.
Oh, you're fine.
Oh, I have a scene. Oh, okay. So I'll go after Brian.
All right. It's a new scene. I titled it Rapping is Easy.
Okay.
Oh, is this gonna be the scene that I just came up with?
Maybe. I don't
maybe.
know.
Is it G-Eazy rapping for the first time?
Yeah.
Wow, we both thought of the exact same scene. That's crazy, man.
But did you think of the title?
No, I didn't have a title, but
Boom.
yeah. Hey, all right, great
Yeah,
minds
so
think
I
alike.
titled it Rapping is and then EAZY, easy. I love this scene. God, this scene just cracks me up. It brings me so much joy, and I figured we needed more of like a after the heavier talks that we've had, which I knew were coming on this one. I figured this would be a fun, light-hearted one. I mean, you're in a studio for the first time, and they're trying to make their first ever I mean, not even an album. They're doing a demo, right? And you get these like hoodlums or whoever the hell that they had come in, and they're trying to be all hard and like, who cares about Compton anyway? And I love Dre. It's just like, hold it. If you want to talk about Compton, we're gonna have some problems, and they dip out. And then all of a sudden we're just like, hey, E, why don't you jump in? I mean, Jason Mitchell is just dialing it up on this one. This is his performance of Easy is so good, where he's like sitting down and he's like, no, I don't. I am not a rapper. He's like, that's your rapper. I'm like, where did that come from?
I am not a rapper. He says it so weird.
I am not a rapper. And then he goes and he's like, no, seriously, get in. And he's like, fine, fuck it. I'll do this. And his first hit is so horrible. He was like cruising down the street, and then Cuba's like, nope.
It's like his voice cracked. Like,
Yeah.
sit down the street.
And then I forgot the other one. The other one was like, that ain't it. I mean, it's so true to form of like friends ragging on each other for fucking up. I mean, we do it all the time. If one of us bloopers or whatever, it's like we rag on each other, and it's just a fun moment. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, it's just like seeing the evolution of like G-Eazy trying to G-Eazy. Oh my god, Easy E, wrong Easy.
Easy, like Jesus, was he up in the boofer?
Like G-Eazy is probably a baby at this point. Goo goo gaga. No, seeing Easy E like trying to rap and like not having rhythm, and like it not being like his plan or his destiny to be a rapper was fun to watch. But the weird question I have is like, this is all pre-Jerry. Like this is before they've like made money doing any of this. Where did they get this nice ass studio?
Easy E.
Easy for that money.
He put up money from because he was drug slinging.
Uh-huh.
So he was still making some cash, and he's like, all right, I've been looking to make a change. The drug game is getting, the heat's coming around the corner a little too hot. I got a bunch of people that are being locked up, and I gotta do something. And that was the talk that he and Dre had.
Oh, okay.
And
so he was fronting
like, all right, cool. I'll front the money. We'll make, if you were to name it, what would it be? And he's like, Ruthless. And that was it. I mean, he put up the money. It's his money. he owns it. Whatever comes of it is now it's really under Eazy's name, which is it's very, you know, they portrayed that very accurately. So
Okay.
yeah.
So I missed the part where Easy was the one that was fronting the money for it.
Yeah, he fronted it all.
Okay.
The studio though belonged to the guy that Dre was DJing for.
Correct.
That was
Oh, like the
was his
manager
record.
that
Mr. Slow Jams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just keep playing them slow jams. Give me that Marvin Gaye, baby.
Okay.
All right. So actually, so I have a quote that I think might have been from this scene.
Yeah.
And it just made me laugh. I think it's Dre to Eazy, but you're kind of being a hoe right now, Eric.
Yeah. No, it was the ice. It was Cube.
Was that Cube?
Yeah.
It was Cube to Eazy-E.
I love it. Like that. That's one of those things that when he said it, I'm like, I can hear that.
Yeah.
I remember growing up and hearing kids like say that shit to each other. I'm like, you're being a hoe right now. Like I can hear it. I can hear it. It kind of took me back. So that was fun.
I got some kitties to feed. Are we good for a break or?
Yeah, absolutely. We can take a break. Jen, how much longer do we have you?
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
So,
well, let's just.
You want to do your final thoughts?
End on Jen's stuff.
Yeah, sorry guys. We're never gonna get big like NWA. We didn't get it together. No, I really love this movie. It's so fun to watch. We didn't talk about it, but I don't want to ruin it. So enjoy the ending of this movie for me. That was the part that I completely forgot with how many times I've seen this movie and what a powerful ending it is. The fact that I completely forgot about it, I was like, oh, okay. So that was a little shocking for me. But yeah, I really enjoy this movie. And I think who wins it has to be O'Shea. There's just something about him in this role that is phenomenal. It's like whenever he's on screen, I paid attention, and I couldn't decide because, like, you know, I think Jerry may have been trying to portray him as like cocky and greedy. And I couldn't decide if I was going with that or if he was just a very bold man. And just said it like it was, whether you like that. And maybe his approach to things could have been simmered. Like, don't destroy a record label.
It was effective.
Got him a house.
Holy crap. That would be something. Like, could you imagine working at that record label and just crashing and like 3 guys come with bats? Like, oh my gosh. Next level. But yeah, O'Shea wins it for me.
Well, right. So I just want to interject real quick. Because you're leaving early, Jen, I kind of want to do this now. So for my pick next week, I'm switching it up a little bit.
No musicals?
No, so what I did was I picked 3 movies. Okay, I picked 3 movies, and what I want to do is I want to get a poll from you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say the 3 titles. Like, don't comment on any of them. I'm going to say them so you know what they are, and then I'm going to say them again, and you guys vote. And each of you only gets 1 vote. So essentially pick your favorite of the 3. And whichever movie is the majority picked, that'll be next week's pick.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Everybody pick a different movie so that it's a stalemate and he has to make a choice rather than use us as pawns.
Yeah, but you won't know
His
because what if two
bullshit
people's hand goes up
preschool.
at the same time?
Sure.
All right, are you ready?
Yep.
By the way, all of these movies are on Netflix.
Okay.
Okay. So the first one is the first Jurassic Park. The second one is The Irishman. The third one is Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Okay.
Getting Sarah Marshall.
If we did, it was before him, but we've only done a few of the silly rom-coms.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you need me to repeat or are we ready to?
I know which one I'm voting for.
Okay. So just tell me when each of you are ready, then I'll say them again and then we'll vote.
Man, I'm so torn.
They're all, what I like about it is that they're all very different movies.
Okay, I'm ready for my vote.
Okay. Jen's ready, Matt's ready.
Shit.
It's not that hard. Are you just trying to figure out which one you want to watch more?
No, I just recently watched one of them.
Oh.
And I'm debating. I'm like, ooh, damn, do I want to really dive into it?
Mm-hmm.
You watched Forgetting Sarah Marshall recently? Weird.
Yeah. I had to give me some Mia.
Okay,
Fair enough.
are you ready?
I think I'm ready, yeah.
Okay. All right. First one, Jurassic Park. Okay, we got one vote. Jurassic Park. It really is going to be one for each, isn't it?
We'll see.
All right, number 2, The Irishman. Ooh. Obviously, number 3 is okay. All right. Looks like The Irishman is going to be next week's Nick pick.
I was torn with that or Jurassic Park, but I just watched Jurassic Park as well as Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom because
So all three of them are on Netflix.
They were in the lineup of my DVD binder.
Oh, nice.
You went from Jurassic Park to Jurassic World?
Correct. I don't have 2 and 3.
Okay.
I never got into it and never cared. And, you know, the original is amazing and the rebirth of it with the worlds are really good.
They are fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was really torn though. I was like, Jurassic Park, do I want to do that one again? What were you leaning towards, Nick?
I was leaning towards forgetting Sarah Marshall. Just because I wanted a little bit of a comedy, if you haven't done a comedy in a while, I just kind of, wanted to switch it up a bit. I had heard good things about The Irishman, and then with Jurassic Park, it was nostalgic. When I saw that, I was like, ooh, that brings me back to childhood.
Irishman is long.
Yeah, but I've heard it's really good. People
very, very, just so you know.
Yeah.
How long? Longer than Titanic? I don't watch movies longer than Titanic.
It's 3 hours, I think.
All right. You got
or it might be 3.5.
Nope.
Hold on.
3.5? Okay, I didn't check the time.
The Irishman, 3 hours and 29 minutes.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Going back to
maybe I changed my vote to Jurassic Park. That seems like a lot of effort.
Okay,
right
do
now.
we want to recount? Do we want to do a revote?
I'm sticking with mine.
I'm sticking with my vote.
I need a coin.
I'm
gonna flip my phone. Or no, I'll tell Sarah to flip a coin.
Can't trust her. She's a machine.
Tails.
Okay,
Jurassic Park tails.
Because dinosaurs have tails.
Nice.
No, because tails never fails.
I like it. We'll do best 2 out of 3. Hey Siri, flip a coin. Okay, first one's heads.
What do you know, Siri?
Hey Siri, flip a coin. Tails.
All right, we win.
Hey Siri, flip a coin. Hey Siri, flip a coin. Heads.
Nope.
The Irishman.
Win.
All right.
Irish.
Well, it was nice knowing you, Jen. Just watch it at double speed. It'll be normal time.
Jen, I just want you to know that this is entirely Nicholas's fault.
Yes.
Because he couldn't make a choice and just decide on forgetting Sarah Marshall, a fun little romp in Hawaii. He is forcing you to watch a 3.5-hour movie about mobsters. That's
Painting houses.
Gonna be devastating. To enjoy.
Paint houses.
I'll break it up into 2 or 3 days.
There you go. Just an hour a day. That'll be fine.
Hour a day.
Does anybody have like some place that they'd like to really dive into right now, or a subject they'd like to tackle? We haven't really focused on any nitpicks or anything. Do you guys have anything to complain about?
One thing that I wrote.
Yeah.
No Eminem scene.
If we're not including the like right before credits or credit scene,
I'm not including that.
Okay.
Well, that's actual footage.
Well, still, but here's my question for you on that. Why would you expect an Eminem scene? This is based off of my ignorance of hip hop and like.
Well, because I was even trying to remember if Eminem is before Aftermath or after Aftermath.
See, and for me, when he drops that Aftermath, like I know that was supposed to be a big like drop. It meant nothing to me, unfortunately. Like when I saw Chronic, though, I was like, "Fuck yeah, man!"
Chronic had more impact than Aftermath. That's
well, what does that tell you about my hip hop education? Got a long way to go. So, like when you say you're upset that there's no Eminem scene, like I don't understand what Eminem and how early his influence like really was with Dr. Dre.
I thought it was pretty early on, but I don't have my history completely, tied in a bow. So it's just something that I just either a sequel or what have you. I just want to see the Dr. Dre Eminem start, like how they began and all, working on some of Eminem's songs. And I just want to see it, plain and simple.
Yeah, I think the way that this movie ended, it's implied that the moment that Dr. Dre says Aftermath and like, that's the end, it's implied that immediately following that he starts to work with Eminem, and that's why like they show like the real footage. Is that what they were intending to do, or?
But they don't immediately go to his footage. They Ice Cube is first, and they show all of his acting and stuff from Friday forward.
Yeah,
and then they cut into the stuff with Dr. Dre. So I mean, sure. I think it. I looked at those things as, how in most biopics it's typically after people have been dead, so you get the title cards of blah 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 was dedicated and blah 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 and since blah blah blah. Like you get the where are they now or what happened to them kind of thing. That's what I looked at those video montages of like, that's where we're going to leave you with Aftermath. And then this is what we've done since then. This is Ice Cube thriving. This is Dre thriving. And here's 2 other incredible artists that are saying, yeah, we owe everything to him. He's basically been mentor for everything. Be nothing without him. It's
that Eminem, the Eminem era was follows after the end of this movie, like after he starts Aftermath. That's the impression I got.
I want to see.
All right, I've got some quick info for you guys.
Yeah, I want to see a breakdown of biopic movies and the decades that they cover. So it's like every scene of this movie and like the time period that it takes place in comparison to other movies, so that I can see musically in the world what is happening at the same time. So Straight Outta Compton's ending in the late 90s, right? With all of this chronic aftermath. Like, okay, that's the big deal that's happening in rap. What's happening in country music right now? What's happening in rock and roll? Yeah, like, you know, I'm curious what biopics, like, because there's got to be overlap at this point. There's so many of them, and I'm curious. I'm curious.
Eminem was late 90s. I think that's when he kind of debuted, right? It was like 97, 98.
See, I don't know, because I caught him way after like the whole Slim Shady era, the Slim Shady era.
Yeah. I caught him in like the Mockingbird era.
Who?
Eminem.
Oh, I caught him in the very beginning.
Yeah.
I was not aware of him until 8 Mile.
Oh, geez. No.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
mine was.
I mean, that being said, I think I knew of like
My Name was like my first introduction to Eminem.
I did know the hits. My name is what? My name is. Like,
so I was doing some quick research. Dre's and Eminem's first studio session was My Name Is.
Mm-hmm.
It was released under Aftermath Entertainment.
Yeah.
So Eminem and Dre did not connect until he was Aftermath only.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Aftermath, and this is where I may have been getting my own confusion mixed in. Aftermath is not the name of an album. That is the name of his production company.
Correct.
The label. Yeah.
It's his label. Yeah.
Is he still Aftermath?
I think so. I don't think it's changed.
I mean, I wouldn't. I was just curious.
I'll check. Making me do a lot of research on this.
We don't have to. This is the problem of me being a novice, but a wanting to learn person in hip hop and rap, because it's.
Yeah, it says that he's the founder and CEO of Aftermath Entertainment.
But is Aftermath still around? Or has he changed the name?
Sure.
I'm trying to think of other scenes, but like I keep thinking of topics, because a lot of the scenes like deal with topics. I feel like
I did not write down scenes because I was so into this movie that I was paying attention to everything. So actually, okay, here's the thing. DOC. He was the one that got into the car accident and like damaged his throat.
I think so.
Okay, so I'm not familiar with DOC. Are you, either of you?
I've heard the name.
Okay. Yeah. Who was our other fella?
DJ Yella.
DJ Yella.
I never really heard of him either.
MC Ren, like those are the guys. MC Ren. Yeah, see, I don't know.
Well, I mean, like NWA was essentially, in quotes, a boy band, right? So it's like some of them, you know, are more so in the spotlight than others. Like, and those would be Eazy-E, Ice Cube, and Dr. Dre. The other guys were kind of, you know, they were.
Aftermath is still around. Yes.
What?
Aftermath is still around.
Okay. Same name. Cool.
But which is common in any like band in general.
I don't know. I feel like they probably had more of like a music influence, right? Like they might have been more like like Dre in a sense of producing and coming up with like the beats and stuff. Because they touch on it a little bit in the movie of like how they split like writing credits and stuff. And it's like they all mixed on this. It's like not just because you're doing the rap doesn't mean you wrote it. Like I one thing that I kind of dislike is it's somewhat implied Eazy-E never wrote any of his raps because he was never he never intended to be a rapper. And I don't, obviously fault him for that.
I am
But
not a rapper.
yeah, but the implication from there on forward is like he's not the writer, he's talent. And you've got Ice Cube who's doing like all of the lyrics, and you got Dre who's coming up with like majority of the beats, like the beats. So it's I don't know, it's interesting, and who were the other guys,
Yeah.
This is why I don't like when they do groups and they try to tell it as a group story, because you leave people out, which means you're leaving out story every time. It doesn't matter how big of a group or how small of a group. You either have to go in with the intent of writing a story, knowing you're going to focus on these guys and what that means, and write a story that makes sense for that. Because of that, have we said it, the script was written pieces? I think I brought it up, right? It was originally written as an easy story, and then they
you brought that up.
Yeah.
rewrote. Okay, yeah, like that's where I think that this story falls apart. Is this probably would have been a much stronger story when you look at the start of this movie, scene one. Eazy-E is in the middle of some sort of deal, and cops bust in, and he is hauling ass. Now he's joining an NWA. It ends with him dying of AIDS. Like that's your movie. That's Bohemian Rhapsody.
Mm.
That's what it was intended to be. And I think everything that you can really boil down to, and like if they had focused all story on Eazy-E, I think that this could have been so much stronger. But I'm saying it from a story point, because they split between the three, and we're getting these disjointed perspectives. It leaves us wanting so much more. And that's why we want a sequel. That's like, I'm all for it. Make a freaking trilogy of these guys. Bring them back. Let's do more. But go ahead. You've been paid. Oh, sorry, Nick.
Oh, sorry. You were lagging. I thought you were done. Sorry.
That's human lag.
It's human. So my only pushback on that though is how do you do a biopic on just one person that had a lot of influence in a group? Like how do you not show all the other players and try to tell the story of one person? Like I feel like it has to be an all or nothing. Like you tell everybody's significance or none.
Ryan, do you have rebuttal?
More of pushback towards you.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So my pushback is, I mean, I get what you're saying. You're saying, hey, start off with Eazy-E, give us the whole story is about Eazy-E, right?
Yeah.
The problem behind that theory that I see, the people that he was around are not no names. How do you back burner Dr. Dre? How do you back burner Ice Cube? You can't. So to go about and do like the Easy E story and then just kind of have them come in when it doesn't work. They're too big of names. They're too big of A-list celebrities and rappers. You have to you have to take it the way that they took it, which is all three, like the three main ones, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, and Easy E, are the ones that are carrying the movie, and I think it works.
So you said the same thing I just said.
I hear what you're saying.
I was going off, no, Nick, you were saying, how do you not include all the other members? I'm saying specifically, you can not include other members of bands and make that work very easily. Like free balling here, if you did a Justin Timberlake thing and you just kind of backburnered the rest of NSYNC, okay, that works for me, right? My argument was you're trying to backburner Ice Cube and Dr. Dre. Those are right. They're just too big. They're too big of names.
Well, their album cover has like 5 or 6 dudes on it, so there's more than just the 3. Like NWA is like a group of like 5 or so people.
Correct.
So I would say like each of them have a significance in the group. And so I mean I'm trying to think of all of them. You're trying to think of some of them, and Matt's trying to think of one of them. It's kind of our scale, I guess.
Here's my point. One, it was written as an Easy story and expanded. So what I'm saying is that's what it was initially intended as. But you guys are talking about Dr. Dre and Ice Cube being too big. I submit to you, I Walk the Line, Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley, Waylon Jennings. I can never remember his damn name. Jerry Lewis. I mean, like these are huge names, and they all take back burner. They're there for significant enough time, but they all take back burners. The way that you do it is you focus more on the person. That's it. You make it's a personal story. It's not about the band. It's about them within the band. That's how you tell a biopic about one person. They attempted to do that with 3 of them post writing. You had something that was already great for one guy and you tried to retrofit it for 3. That's not it's not totally a problem. And I agree that, right, if they had initially written like start from like, here's the idea, we're going to take everything about these 3 guys, we're going to focus in on them and work it all together, they could have done a much more cohesive job. I think that's why there's certain things that feel disjointed. Like there's the buildup with focusing on the police brutality and the Rodney King beating, and then it leading to nothing. I'm sure it led to something, but we don't get much of that. We jump to where Ice Cube has crushed it with all of these albums and things, and he's doing movies now. He what was it? Boys in the Hood that he did?
He did, yeah. Anaconda, Boys in the Hood.
Well, I think this is all before Friday, right? Like Friday was like a big breakout.
I think Friday was his first one that he wrote and produced.
Yeah. So, and you know what I mean? Like there's kind of a big time jump between them going through the LA riots and everything's hunky dory again. We're all rich, but Eazy-E is doing bad. You know, like it's a mood change. It's a story change that's abrupt and not really warranted. You know what I mean? Like it's a hard right turn. So I'm not saying you guys are wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying I feel like as strong as all of this stuff is, it could have been tighter and it would have been even better. But I want Dre. Although I will say what this movie has really done for me is opened my eyes to Ice Cube. I like I knew he wrote Friday. I knew like I didn't know the depth to his writing, like the lyrics of NWA and everything. Like I'm not aware of it. So it's and I okay, I'm jumping. I'm finding this. I found a scene when he's doing that interview and the guy is trying so hard to just reel him in. Like he's like, oh, this is just some idiot rapper kid from Compton. I'm gonna get him. And he and Ice Cube came in so prepared. He stumps this guy, fools him, and he's like, you came in here unprepared. You're not being professional. What's your name? Brian? Brian, who gives a fuck? Get out. Like get the
I love the handshake fake out.
He actually says eat a
Yes, I'm
dick?
sorry. Yes, that's the line that I've got. What's your name, Brian? Eat a dick, Brian. Get the fuck out of my house. Like it's, I did love that it was the Brian bit. But it's just it's one of those things where Ice Cube has always been so interesting to me because he's had this like gangsta background, this thug background. But I've seen him in Are We There Yet? You know what I mean? Like this dude is like trying hard to get these kids' moms like, like it's this is the same guy. So it's hard for me to
he's
see.
in 21 and Jump Street and 22 Jump Street.
Oh my god! Like he's been in so many things now, but like, yeah, exactly. Sorry, go ahead, Brian. You've been very patient.
Well, just to even kind of go with to continue with what you're saying, there's another scene where all of NWA is lined up for like a press conference or what have you, and all these reporters thinking that they're gonna have the upper hand on them, and they get absolutely owned.
Yep.
By the whole like because they're it's all about fuck the police and they're trying to break them down on that. And Eazy-E answers and owns them. Ice Cube answers and owns them. I mean, they say our art is a reflection of our reality. It's like you're not just talking to some thugs here, guys. Like, and this is what I was saying earlier about how well of a job the movie portrays the intelligence that these rap artists had. And people thought that it was just going to be this walk in the park, but no, they absolutely chess matched them every time and was 7 moves ahead of them.
It is funny to me how often the media has assumed that musicians are idiots.
Yeah.
I mean, the countless examples of people like, oh, this idiot musician's coming in and thinks he's got a voice because he's whatever. Oh, shit, he knows what he's talking about. Oh, he's got fat. Oh, he's speaking. Oh,
right.
Yeah,
that's the whole point of the media. They want you to slip up, like because they want that drama. It gets
exactly. They're waiting for the spin.
Yeah.
So they can take whatever you said, spin it into a way that works for them and
they get views and clicks and
publicity wise,
more advertising and yeah.
The other thing, it was kind of earlier briefly mentioned, but I just don't think it was given enough credit. Again, it's with Cube and just exactly the talent that this man has is just unreal. I simply this is the most basic title I've ever done because it's true to my heart, and I titled it "I Heart Rap Battles."
Yeah,
when Straight Outta Compton starts to go into the whole rap battle between NWA and solo Ice Cube for his America's Most Wanted, I just can't get enough of it. I wanted more retaliation. I don't know exactly how much they did, but Cube launches America's Most Wanted and doesn't say anything about NWA, keeps it cool, keeps it professional, and then NWA decides that they're going to strike first. Cube's retaliation is just he slays them. He slays every single one of them, and I love when rappers start to do that whole rap battle stuff. I think Eminem's done it with I forgot who. He was in a big rap battle with somebody, and I don't know why I'm drawing a blank who it was.
Drake.
What?
Was it something Machine Gun
Machine Gun
Kelly?
Kelly?
Yeah,
There
Machine Gun
wasn't,
Kelly.
yeah, I mean, kind of, but I'm talking like Eminem in his prime.
Like actual
Yes.
beef. Like these guys were going album for album. Like
Yeah, one of them I think even mentioned his daughter's name, and he fucking lost it.
Yeah, yes.
Oh
yes.
my, it's not 50 Cent, but
that'd be fucked up.
fuck man, who did he use
Pablo?
to
No.
Anyway, they would go against each other, and you just couldn't wait for the next person to retaliate, because I'm like, fuck man, this is it just really, it was great writing, it was passionate, and it was rap battling.
Ja Rule.
What?
Ja Rule.
Was it the Ja Rule?
Yeah, because he had a song where, yeah, like you said, he talks about his daughter or something in like a diss track.
Maybe, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, honestly, Eminem went to battle a lot of people throughout his career, even in his late career. Is it no? What's that song where he says, "You want shady? I'll give you," or you ask for shady, I'll take all of you on at once. It's a newer one. It's not Venom. Damn it, I forgot. But I mean, he's still slaying it.
I see.
I don't think there's any lyrics better than Eminem. I'm gonna say that right now.
See, that is my thing, is everybody wants to come and like boast all kinds of shit, but what it really comes down to are the lyrics, right? Like, not only can dude, I don't even know what the song is, but for Eminem, which is the like, I mean,
Rap God?
Rap God.
Whatever it is, sure, I don't know,
Rap
but like,
God.
I mean, it's dude is making noise, but he is saying every single word.
Yep.
And it has meaning. Like, that's the difference. Not only is this guy doing something with his words artistically, the words themselves are artistic. Like, it's on a it's a level of depth that most people don't reach. And
it's why I loved rap battles so much when they went after Eminem, because I'm just like, are you stupid? He's going to murder you with his lyrics.
He's on a whole nubba level.
Whole nubba level.
Yeah. I mean, the dude used Oxford Dictionary in a rap and made it sound cool.
Like the word, like the phrase Oxford Dictionary.
The phrase Oxford Dictionary.
Yeah.
Who fucking does that?
A guy who read an Oxford Dictionary.
Yeah. He's one of a kind, man. He's one of a kind.
Yeah. Mockingbird is still my favorite song from him.
Sorry, I don't mean to change the subject.
You're fine.
Well, I mean, while we're on it, like we are living in an era of biopics. Have you noticed this? I mean, biopics,
because they're all growing up.
I know, but like we're getting biopics of people that, you know, are still alive.
Yep.
That's the weirdest part. But we are getting to a point where like these things are so common, we could get more biopic series. Like, you know, like we've got with the OJ Simpson, all of those things, like all of these like true crime biopic deals.
Oh, like People versus OJ, or
yeah, that's it.
With Travolta.
Yes.
And Gooding Jr.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, there's many others. That's just like my go-to that I think of.
Right.
But like something along those lines where, so because this was such a great cast. Like they got such great people.
Oh, perfect
like,
cast.
Bring them back. It's like, instead of doing like a trilogy, right? Of like, okay, sign you on for another movie, for like, just sign up for a bulk miniseries. Just like I love a good miniseries for something that deserves it.
Yeah.
Like take the story of the NWA or Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, any of them, however you want to break it up. I don't want to get into that, but tell the story in 4, 6 to 8 episodes, right?
Yeah.
Hour-long episodes. How fucking epic could that be?
Oh, it'd be amazing.
Like, and I guarantee you people would watch that, guarantee they'd stream it. And you bet your ass if you put that on Blu-ray, I'm buying that series. Like,
Yeah.
that's the kind of stuff that I kind of hope we're leaning towards as far as content and stuff. Like, I know if we're going to continue to just replicate real life or remake something that's already been remade, like the Harry Potter series, I'm down for doing it in this long form.
Didn't we say the same thing about Gotti?
I think so.
Yeah. We were like, we wish that this could have been a series.
Yep.
If we're doing these biopics anyway, and streaming is so accessible, just
go the distance, right?
Just go the distance. Like, give us as much detail as you can muster up. Yep. That way, I think you eliminate with the real life people, at least to a degree, of the pushback of like, no, I don't want you saying that about me. I don't want you portraying me this way. It's like you're giving them as much opportunity to show as true to story from the perspective as possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I do it. Just do it.
Do it.
For me, I would hope that it frees up opportunity for movies to go back to being movies again. You know what I mean?
I do.
Go ahead, Brian.
Scene change real quick.
Answer. Yeah.
What did that show was dope, man.
Which one?
The first one, I guess, when they meet the California Raisins guy.
Yes. And I mean, the reason why I titled it that is because the song that they're on the stage to is Dope Man.
Okay, I could not remember. I remembered the song, the Dope Man, but I couldn't remember when it took place.
Yeah. I just like this because, I mean, first of all, did you guys notice it's a roller rink?
Yes.
I was trying to pinpoint what it was.
Yeah. It's
a roller
rink.
They say it beforehand. Or there's a sign or something. So I knew.
It's called Skateland.
Oh, yeah. Nice. I totally missed it.
And already you see how popular these guys are. And I'm like, Jesus, this is they don't even have an album yet. They had a demo, one song, and that was what is the name of it? It was the crew. It's Cruising, but I forgot the name of that song. Anyway,
was it Rolling with the Homie?
No.
I think it's called Cruising.
It's
messing with you, dude. I was doing Clueless.
Yeah. Okay.
That's just me getting a tickle myself.
Dude, I hear it. Anyway,
I'm trying to pull up the soundtrack now.
Anyway, yeah, I it's in my head, but so they've only done that one single under Ruthless, and here they are pulling up to the roller rink, and this is where I think they all realize what they have, because Dre looks he doesn't have someone telling him what to play anymore. He has a stage set up for him to do his shit. He's got his boys with him. And on top of that, Ice Cube is no longer part of the affiliation he was in prior to this, right? Because like that's why he wasn't able to jump on the record.
Yeah, that was a weird thing too.
Yeah. So it's like, I guess out of respect, I don't know. And then he's like, you know what? I'm going with NWA, and those are my guys now. And this is when we get to see Cube with NWA blazing the stage, everyone is just everyone knows the lyrics, and they're just like, holy shit, like we've got this crowd in our hand. This is when Jerry's got a line of people that he's like trying to, have them listen to, and one by one, they're just like, fuck this, like this is not my style. And then that one guy from Pioneer Record stays by, and he's like, no, there's something here. All of it is just like the birth of what would be Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, Eazy-E, the late Eazy-E, just all of it. I mean, it's really, really well done.
Could you imagine being at that show, like in real life?
Right? It's like
seeing them before
being
they got
the
big.
first people to witness fucking greatness. Like,
yeah.
Maybe it's just me, but I always feel like I would be so out of place. And like I would love it and like try to be having such a good time, but like I'd feel so odd being probably like the white guy in the crowd.
Matt, it's sorry to cut you off, but it's funny you say that because I went to a rap show like a year ago. It was one of the Wu-Tang Clan guys. He did a show here in Sac at a very small venue. And like I think it was majority white people.
Interesting.
Yeah, and like the openers were like local rappers and stuff, but it was like mostly white people inside. So you really can't have the notion that you would be the only white guy in the crowd.
I mean,
it's just not like that these days. What?
In the 80s, I would have.
Probably in the 80s. Yeah, yeah.
There were 3 white people in that crowd, and they were these guys that were trying to these record execs, like
yeah.
Matt, you know how you were talking about like we're just in this era of biopics?
Yeah.
Did you see the most recent one that's coming out this next month?
No.
It's titled One Love.
Oh, I did just see this guy, and I'm excited about it too.
I'm like, wow,
is it Bob Marley?
It's Bob Marley.
They're doing one on Bob Marley.
Yeah. I caught like a teaser trailer for it.
I caught it during one of the games. I was like, are you kidding me? Biopics, man, they are really catching steam.
This is a weird thing that they've been doing. You said it comes out next couple months?
No, next month. I think like February. I think it's dropping February 14th.
They keep doing this with the advertising where it's like, okay, our movie comes out next week and go advertise everything. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, why am I just now hearing about this? It's like it's like they're hoping by waiting till the last minute, they draw massive loads of hype and draw people out to the theaters, which I mean, I can understand from a theory, but that's so weird. Like it always made more sense to me of like, okay, here's your teaser, leave them wanting more.
Yeah.
Okay, a few months later, here's another trailer. It's a bit longer and a bit more footage, leave them wanting more. Like, like, or I just saw the thing talking about how one of the best things for advertising, like with the Blair Witch Project, right, was using websites to create like, there's this fake website that everybody thinks is real that's talking about all of these kids that have gone missing, and because it's, you know what I mean? Like it's just, they used to do that where there were Easter eggs and things that you could find, and like there were actual advertising campaigns that engaged you in with this movie that made you want to see it, not just because it was going to be a good movie, but because it was an experience.
Right.
I missed that. What the hell is happening, man? Argyle looks like it seems like a fun, interesting, silly spy movie.
I know.
I got blasted by it and like so like thrown off. I'm like, this is gonna be out of theaters before I can catch up on anything. Like, I hate it. I don't like this blast of advertising.
Yeah,
it's probably money. They probably just don't have as much budget to advertise for longer.
Social media is free.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Yes, but no.
Quick moment. I think we mentioned it a little, not much to really break down. I just thought it was really great. Was California Loves Pac.
California what?
California Loves Pac.
Oh,
That's my title for it.
that was so.
It's so good. I mean,
That's a needle drop.
dude, he's ripping Hail Mary. Like, just appreciate that. Like, he's in the studio ripping Hail Mary, and then Dre's like, "Hey man, I got something for you. I think you'll like it." And you're like, "Where's he going with this?" And then he fires up California Love. I'm like, these are like two of Pac's greatest songs, with exception to Changes. And they're making it seem like it's so nonchalant. I'm like, oh my God, it's just really well done.
Yeah, hearing that instrumental, like just the intro of it, I was like, whoa.
Every time, like, yeah, it puts a smile on my face.
Yeah.
California. Yeah, every time.
Yeah. I just love that they walk into him just come with me. I was like, fuck, that's Hail Mary. Jeez. Go ahead, Nick.
I have a scene. It's kind of a quick one.
Sure.
I maybe you guys can help me give me some context, but I think there was like it's the scene where Ice Cube and some of the guys are at like this music convention and they're coming down those escalators. Do you know what scene I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
What was going on here? Because I think it was Ice Cube was like, nah, we lynch mob, and then he's still throwing like gang signs up or whatever, and I was like, what happened? Like, is he part of a gang now?
Gang violence based off of record. Like he's what was because it was what
I was wondering is who did they get into a fight with?
Yeah,
who dudes?
Okay, see,
Just
I couldn't figure that out.
Just fans.
Those are fans?
Not his fans,
right?
Like a rival group's fans.
Well, what was the record companies?
Whoever they got the shit kicked out of them for trying to be all hard. I will say that.
I mean, it was like 10 seconds of just like fucking
Cubes
pummeling, and then just like a hard cut to the next scene.
Dude, Cube and his boys were on it. Let's just say that they had that situation handled.
But like Compton, dude, they don't fuck around. But yeah,
I needed more context to this whole scene.
I'm with you. I would have liked to know like what the details of it were, you know?
Like why include this scene to like push the story forward? You know, it wasn't just to show that like Ice Cube and his guys were like reverting backwards. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it was to show that like these rap, like the dissing that was happening on the records was bleeding into the streets. Like it was causing physical friction. It's not just like rival rap groups going at each other. It's
now fans dividing.
Yeah. Well,
either your NWA or your Ice Cube.
Here's the whitest version of it I could possibly say. This is like if NSYNC and the
Backstreet Boys. I knew it. Yeah.
Were like attacking NSYNC or Backstreet Boys. Like that's what's happening. That is what's happening.
You could have said Britney or Christina Aguilera.
No, you can't throw the ladies into this. So you show them respect there. They are
no, it'd be like Spice Girls and
what I don't think
what's another female group.
Well, Destiny's Child.
Yeah.
But to me, Christina and Britney, they never had really like it's not a rivalry in a sense. Like
no, they never had a feud at all.
Thank you. Feud. That's kind of what I was looking for. Thank you. Yeah. But the fans of
think about it. Britney wanted to be hit and Christina wanted to be rubbed. Oh,
that
Actually, I don't know if you
sounds
guys
good.
know this, but the line "hit me, baby, one more time" is actually a phrase that was like translated from like a Korean or like a I can't remember if it was Korean, but it was like a Korean songwriter
Sounds
thought
like
that
bullshit to me.
yeah, that's
like
yeah.
hit me means like to call me, like to so
Like
Brittany was
hit
saying
me up.
call me baby one more time, but in like in the translation it got lost to hit me baby one more time. Yeah, it was a little random fun fact I learned recently.
We'll call it a fun fact, but I call it bullshit, mama.
Hey, I'll look it up right now.
Do it.
So I'm down to the the ending scenes and quotes right now.
Yes. I don't have anything else. I do have one scene I wanted to bring up just as I'm thinking. There's so many scenes, but this one in particular, because this dude's a scary motherfucker. Suge Knight, every moment, like he seemed so cool, calm, and then once freaking Death Row Records came about, it's like, oh, this guy's next level scary.
Yep.
But so it's the scene actually after Tupac, right? Where Dre storms out there and he's just like, I mean,
Dude,
I'm so
rightfully
scared
so.
for
I
him.
would be fucking pissed myself.
Well, and
Torture.
he has every right to be. And
100%. It's like, what are you doing?
if I'm not mistaken, he's partners, right? Like they both own Death Row Records. So what's
Correct.
happening there is one partner's trying to do the work, the other partner's having a fucking party.
Correct.
Okay. God, man, though, like for Dre to have the confidence to just walk out there, one, what the fuck is going on with this poor guy that they've got stripped down in his underwear? They got a dog bark, and I'm like, what is happening here? And then they've got him saying some. I'm guessing this is like some gang stuff or just some poor dude that they've pulled off the street. I don't know, but
Hazing, dude.
what the hell is happening here?
Yeah.
It is the weirdest stuff, and I'm with Dre where he's just like, what the fuck is this?
Yep.
Like we did this to get away from all of this shit. Like
Yep.
this is we're better than this.
He's like, I got Pac in there grinding.
Yes.
And it's like now it like, at that they didn't know the type of name Tupac would hold. But now for us
still.
Now for us nowadays in 2024 to sit and watch this scene and be like, dude, that's fucking Tupac in there. And this is the shit that's going on out there. Like it makes the scene even 4 times as worse than it actually was.
Go ahead, Nick.
The guy that was stripped down, he's the same guy that is outside of Jerry's house late at night.
No, he's not.
That's the same dude. I
don't think it is.
I saw his face. That was the same guy.
I don't think it is.
He was fucking buff and jacked. That's the same guy.
Terry Crews is buff and jacked. But
What, Matt? Would you watch this movie again?
I will take a look into that because I'm curious. At one point I almost thought it was the dude he pistol whipped.
No,
for
taking his parking
he
spot.
Was way too small.
No, yeah, no,
that's what I'm saying. Like
him.
I almost thought it was him.
Yeah,
no, he's the same dude that shows up and like intimidates Jerry outside of his house. That's the same guy.
I don't think so.
And which I still question why any of that happened. And then to see him get stripped down and tortured, I guess. Like what did he do? Like what's going on?
I mean, well, Brian, you bring up a good point. Maybe it's gang initiation. I don't know.
Like he was told to go intimidate Jerry because he's like the rival record that Dre is with, right?
I'd probably, because the whole point was he's trying to at that point it was
trying to avoid the contracts.
Let him out of the contracts.
Yeah.
But and what is it?
It could be a hazing. It could be a hazing and gang initiation.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Who seriously though? Like who knows, man? Maybe they could have addressed it if they didn't focus on 3 different people.
Jeez.
Let it go, Matt.
I won't.
Let it go.
This is a really good movie that could have been fucking great.
So the ending.
Yes.
Well, it's almost like 2 endings, right? I mean, they kind of speed up. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm getting tired.
No, same.
They kind of definitely speed up the what happened to Easy. I mean, it's like he's coughing and then he's slowly you start to see he's like coughing progressively more.
I kept trying to guess what that coughing was leading to.
Yeah. And then like the whole scene where he passes out, I think if I may be wrong, but it looked like he had like a focal seizure where you don't go like tonic-clonic or full body tonic-clonic where you get the shakes and all that stuff. Focal is more like pinpoint where your hands start to do something, you go into a fixed stare. Like there are several things that could be happening. And then right after that, he passes out, all that stuff. That was my guess. And then we find out that he has AIDS, and his reaction to him finding out, man, that's some really good acting from Jason Mitchell. Really, really good performance there. But yeah, and then that progressively gets worse. So you start to see it sucks because they were about to get NWA back together without the bullshit, and it just makes you wonder like what material we missed out on because of all this. But yeah, I mean, talk about really amping the drama up on the movie. I thought it was well done. Just in all that, and then the actual final scene after Eazy has died, the whole Dr. Dre going in and telling Suge Knight, you can have it all, man. I don't care what money I'm giving away. I don't care who I'm giving up. I don't care what I'm giving up. It's fucking yours. I'm done. I'm done answering to people and I'm doing it my way. And that's when he says, I'm dropping Aftermath. And to this day, we know where Dr. Dre stands. He has Aftermath. He found Eminem. He found 50 Cent. I think he found Kendrick Lamar, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, all these rap artists that he found. Then he creates beats. I think he did really good by dropping Suge Knight, because what happened? I'm pretty sure in 1 year Death Row Records collapses and Suge Knight is in jail too. So smart move.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Suge Knight's scary, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So you ran through the ending so quickly. I'm trying to remember what part it was that I had a thought on.
I mean, Easy-E finds out he's sick, or finds out that he has AIDS.
It was after that. It was with when he's talking with Suge Knight. You'd said something.
You raised your hand when I said that Dre was doing stuff on his own. He doesn't need anyone to answer to.
Oh, he had this line. That's right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
He had this line that was like, you can't put a price tag on peace of mind. And like, that's the thing is like you're saying, like he didn't care. You know what?
No.
Being 100% free of you to do my own thing. I don't care how much money I give up. It's not going to feel any better than I feel being away from you and your craziness.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I that was something I really liked with Dre's character in this entire movie, and why I'm so interested in like that they deleted his darker scenes, right? Like, which I'm sure there's reasons, but I'm curious of that side of Dre, because what they really showed him as is this dude who's just all about the music. even to the point where like they do kind of show that he's a bit neglectful of his family. Like he's got a kid. She takes off. And we don't really ever see him with them ever again, I don't think.
No.
And it's just,
and his mom.
What was that?
Like his mom in the beginning, and we don't really get much of her after. Like after those like first two scenes.
Well, I mean, after the Tyreek funeral, that we never see the mom again.
I don't think we need to.
No, I agree.
But yeah, hey guys. Yeah, we're all tired. We need to wrap this up.
Yeah.
I've lost it because you guys keep derailing me, and like I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Wrap this up.
I got quotes, man. I'm not trying to drag this out anymore.
Wrap it up, dude.
Let's see. We did that. We did Bye Felicia. Oh, you never know what you need until you need it. That was pretty good. That was from Suge Knight. I said that one, and then the only other one that I haven't said yet is you are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge. Damn, that's good.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. I mean, that basically that is a perfect blanket for Straight Outta Compton.
I'm gonna go listen to a bunch of NWA.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fall asleep to Fuck the Police. I'm gonna subconsciously learn all of the lyrics, and tomorrow, as I'm just hanging out at work, I'm just gonna bust out all of a sudden. Fuck the police from the underground. Yeah.
You know what? I'll do the same thing, Matt.
This would be great.
I'll walk into my work and just playing "Fuck the Police."
I don't see any downside to this. And
what could go wrong?
And if they don't laugh, they are not your friends, Nicholas.
All right. Final thoughts. Who won the movie? God, we've said enough tonight. Who won the movie?
Yeah.
No, honestly, it's a great movie. I love it. I actually was surprised that I don't own this one. I thought I did, but I don't. So I will definitely own this one. This is gonna be this will be in the DVD binder for sure. Great talk. I knew we were gonna hit some heavy topics, and I think we handled it really well. So good job, guys.
Yes.
Who wins the movie? My honorable mention I'm going to give to the screenwriters. It's such a sorry, I know Matt, you might not like this, but it is a well-told story about a really interesting group of guys and what they've done for the rap industry. And I think they did a really good job making it interesting, keeping it dramatic, going with the angle of, hey, we're going to talk about focusing on three. I thought they did a really good job with that. But I am with my sister. There is no doubt about it. The winner of this movie is O'Shea Jackson, just bringing the heat as his dad, which if you think about it, that's got to be kind of weird to play your own father in a younger version. That it's got to feel strange a little bit. And you could never tell that he felt awkward or uncomfortable. And my God, did he resemble Ice Cube? So it's got to be him.
Yeah, I'll go next, Nick, just because I want to wrap it up. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. Great chat. Phenomenal all around. It has reinvigorated my love of hip hop and rap, and driving me to learn more about the history and more about these guys. So like looking forward to continuing my NWA journey. For who wins it, runner up, I'll give it to you. Like director and writers, like I really do love this story. Like it is a well told story. You get plenty of information, lots of heart gut wrenching moments, and it's well done. All very well done. And yeah, I true runner-up to I think it was Corey Hawkins as Dr. Dre, just because there's so many times where I thought he did great, but like O'Shea, I mean, the effort that he put into portraying his dad is visible. There are far too many moments where I'm like, you could freeze frame this and you were looking at Ice Cube. And it was in like that snarl that he had, like that just kind of that look, that just kind of like stare down thing that he can do. He crushed it.
Mannerisms too.
All of it. I mean, he came through with, and for this to be his acting debut, right? Like he crushed it with the acting, he crushed it with the rap. I mean, dude did his homework for sure.
Yep. 2 years.
He put it in. He put in the effort, he put in the work, he did it.
Yeah.
Well earned.
My final thoughts are really the same thing you guys were just saying. It's a good movie. It's really well done. It's not perfect, but it's excellent what they did with it. And yeah, I would love to see a sequel, from like the 90s into the 2000s, like continue the story, just talk about where some of these guys are like during the next generation of rap and hip hop, and I would love to see it. But I think man, I really liked the actor that played Eazy-E.
Jason Mitchell.
Like I thought his performance was the best out of all of them, and I think I'm gonna have to give him my win for the movie, just because he fucking killed it. Like,
I agree.
His just, he got emotional, he got angry, he got happy. Like the guy has range, and he delivers it so well. And the reason why I give it to him and not O'Shea is just because I feel like some of O'Shea's acting in the beginning, it was a little, it just wasn't hitting it for me in the beginning. Like it got better, but I was just feeling, was it Mitchell Jackson?
Jason Mitchell.
Jason Mitchell. His acting is just excellent. Well done. Yeah.
All right. Well, that officially wraps it up for Straight Outta Compton for us. Well done, fellas. We made it through.
Wraps it up.
6 hours later, we did it. But yeah, tune in next week where we will be chatting about oh god, what was it again?
The Irishman.
The Irishman on Netflix. Yeah. We have committed to the 3.5 hours of pain. Yes, tune in next week to hear us chat about The Irishman. You can check out our page on Instagram at good.flickas. You can find updates on when the show will be and where you can watch it. You can find us here at Twitch at GoodFlickas, and you can find us on YouTube at GoodFlickas. And check out some of our older shows, new ones to be updated periodically, randomly, and eventually. Thank you for sticking with us and being friends about it. But give us a like, give us a share, pass us around, tell your friends about us. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your support. If you have anything, questions, any advice or anything you'd like to send us, you can shoot us an email at goodflickas2020@gmail.com. Other than that, we look forward to seeing you next week as we dive into The Irishman. And thanks for sticking it out with Straight Outta Compton. We hope you all enjoyed it with us. But Brian, go ahead and wrap us up, sir.
Yeah, what Matt said, guys. We hope that you enjoyed Straight Outta Compton. We'll see you next week for The Irishman. Bye, Felicia.
Bye.